Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Marvel Rivals Championship game covering the console games here, and we're jumping over to the Pacific region this time, meaning that we have Asia combined with Oceania, meaning it's only fair that I invite Liger back. Thanks for joining me again.
Ooh, happy to be back again, Tetcher. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. The Pacific region has been going off in MRC. I'm excited for the match today. I'm excited for this best of 7. It's going to be exciting to see how it all unfolds. To just let you know, the Pacific region, of course, as you said, it's a combination of a whole bunch of different regions. It's vast, it's big, it varies, especially in the ping. So I'm excited to see how these teams perform. And going into this, this is the console matches.
It is.
So PC went off. It was very good fun to watch, casting that. A lot of big plays. A lot of some people establishing themselves into maybe even future MRI stages. So this should be cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this will unfold for the console era.
I literally had to send a message to NetEase to be like, hey, because we're going to do a quick spoiler, so while my hand is up on everyone's camera, be prepared for spoilers. We had an Oceania team get into the top 2, but on the production documents we got for promotional documents, we got for Ignite, it showed that Asia was the team that got spots. So I had to ask, where do the teams go? And they have said that it is just going to be the region they qualify for. So it looks like Hero, who got second, an incredible run, the best performance so far from an Oceania team in an MRC, which is fantastic. They will probably be getting an automatic qualification for Marvel Rivals Ignite, meaning one less spot for everyone else.
That's right, very likely, which brings it down to, well, if we're still going to operate on 8 slots, we did it in stage 1. I'm curious if we might get 10 slots this time, because seeing that there's only 3 opening slots, because you've got the 4 who got top 4 in stage 1, they're invited back. That's Ground Zero, that's Kanga, that's Vicious, that's Bethany. Then you got Hero, that's 5 now.
So only 3 spots.
Potentially 3 spots left. Maybe I feel like you got to open up a bit, because I know your region, I know America as well. It was definitely not 8 slots. You get like 16 or something like that. Yeah,
because it's the top cut, which is 8.
Come on. We've got some OC. Give us 10. Just give us 10 at least. Let's get 5 teams in there from the stage 2 qualifiers. I know a lot of players, right, who are grinding. They want stage 2. They're hungry. A lot of teams are also reforming. There's even some teams from stage 1 who've kind of disbanded and
We've
restructured.
Got the same over here.
Yeah, the 4 teams that are in already, it's not going to be the same players. It's very different.
All right, the spoiler hand
Except Ground Zero, they're probably the same.
That is fair.
Ground Zero is probably the same. That makes sense.
All right, the spoiler hand is going down. So we're going to be heading in to our grand finals for console here. We've been debating on how we pronounce this name, so it's going to be different probably every time we say it. But it's Deos Liberos versus EMINENCE. Once again, console, so this is going to be your Xbox players, it's going to be your PlayStation players. No Switch version of the game as of yet. Who knows? Hopefully we'll see that in the future. But it's a best of 7, and we are heading into game number 1.
Ooh, it's going to be exciting to see how many maps this ends up being. Where the vibes start, we're going to start off with Domination, Hell's Heaven, banger map, good map, exciting map. One of my personal favorites. I'm feeling good. I'm also feeling good. Last night, I played some competitive. Got myself 5 wins in a row. I'm GM2. I'm chilling.
Let's go.
It's a good day. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for some good Rivals gameplay. And these pros are going to definitely put us on a show, give us a good time. And I see everyone's hovering Jeff on EMINENCE. Love to see it.
We love the style, except for Merc, who will be reported and banned from the team for not filling in for the teamwork times. But we're starting off with, remember, this is the MRC ban system. So we're going to get a little bit of a spread when it comes to the bans due to the fact that they ban for both teams as opposed to just your opponents.
Definitely 6 lobby-wide bans. Ooh, MRI is cheering right now because 6 is going to affect you a lot. Captain America is going to be shut down and out by Deos right there. Emma Frost as well. No Torch, no Wolverine. However, they're going to get the early protect. EMINENCE is going to protect Luna Snow. Luna Snow, probably your top 2 picks when it comes to a strategist out here. And then Storm is protected. Now, it's Jeff, oh my god, is on Deos Liberos. Are we building up for a Jeff NATO? Will Jeff make it through the ban phase? That's the question.
That is a good question. If they are planning on going for that Jeff NATO, it did get a little bit nerfed. And it's about to be removed, I believe, actually. We're losing Jeff NATO, right?
Are we?
I don't remember. I don't remember if that was in the video or not.
I feel like No, I feel like we're losing. No, we're losing.
We're losing
The
Firestorm.
fire. We're losing Torch. Yeah, we're losing Firestorm. Yes, yes.
Ah,
I'm
gotcha.
pretty sure.
So
I'm
we're still
pretty sure
keeping
Jeff
Disdain,
Noda's sticking around.
It just got nerfed.
If anything, they've even buffed Jeff and Venom.
Oh yes,
That
which
one's been
is
specifically
needed.
buffed.
I tried that on the
Yes.
yesterday, and gonna be honest,
Yeah.
little bit underwhelming. I was able to save
Yeah,
one
yeah.
person once, and otherwise it was just like,
Mhm.
well, it's activated, and everyone's run away, and it's completely broken again.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't work. I think they should change it up. Just give us the symbiote Jeff, where Venom just lines it up and home run Jeff into the enemy backline, instant ult on impact.
Absolutely,
Just give me that.
100% agree. I want
Perfect.
that. That would be great. All right. So also, I want to hear the Jeff voice actor say "We are Venom" in the Jeff voice. We do have a little bit of a disconnect for RP67 down at the bottom,
Ooh.
so hopefully they're going to be able to get into the game. But Black Panther will be the final removal, and there we go. It's Jeff. OMG is in fact hovering the Jeff along with Hype Vince.
Oh, yeah. Get your Jeff Nados ready to go. Looks like Rocket's potentially going to be the Mech Legends pick. Tainari is bringing out the Sorcerer Supreme. I expect nothing less. And of course, Magneto, you know, one of the most desired vanguards in the meta at the moment. Both teams probably going to walk out the doors with Magneto. But Bucky from Evocaz? Ooh. Bucky good fun. We know it's always consistent. Honestly, statistically, surely this guy's got the most hexes in the game. Bucky players surely have the most hex KOs.
Almost
It's just
certainly, right? It's got to be like
Has
them
to.
or no, even like Iron Man is still like you might miss one.
Yeah, yeah. That is true.
So yeah,
Well,
I
we'll
think it's
find
got to be Bucky. I agree with you there.
Mm.
So we have obviously only met these players for the first time, so we want to give them a little bit of a spotlight. So let's introduce the players. Would you like to start with Deos Liberos?
Oh, yes, of course. We've got It's Jeff on my G, and Hype Vibes, and Tainari, Mech Legends, Insomniac, and Vashon.
And on the
Vashon?
right-hand side, Vashon? I don't know what that letter means. On the right-hand side, in the red trunks, it will be Eminence with Merc. I don't know how to say that one. I'm just going to go, oh. We have Evocaz playing the Winter Soldier. Sibsi Oalgaun, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that one wrong, on the Doctor Strange. Lil Rag on the Cloak and Dagger. And RP67 currently unplugging their router.
It's all right. 5v6 the dream. You can't go wrong when you go on your team, so it's going to be good vibes going forward. I'm sticking with it. We're going
Let's
with
go.
every
Let's
time.
go.
That's it. We're running it. That's the name right now. Luna Snow is, of course, playing, you know, a fair game right now. Just keeping the team nice and sustained. Going to put Eminence on the back foot again. Down one player. Oh, hold on. RP67's connected. Oh, we've got Sue Storm
Let's
now.
go.
Let's go. It's
Making
getting
their way in.
fantastic out here.
So finally going in with the 2-2-2, sticking it pretty standard. Neither team is going to be deviating from that initial early setup. You can hear Jeff just sieging in, and this new Jeff, if you can get multiple people being healed in a row, you can see that ult charge is building so fast. The second fastest in the game. Nope, we'll still get there first.
Oh, both of them ready to go. Could kick off at any second now. Waiting for the first ult to pop. Agamotto early from Technari right there. And Ibzy is going to be there and close soon to follow as well. Amplifier dropping from the Rocket Raccoon right there. Legends preparing to boost Insomniac forward with the final judgment, shredding as much as they can into a Luna Snow, and with enough firepower. Brought off by Jeff, brought off by Tainari. They do manage to take down 3 from Eminence right there, clearing out Luna, Bucky, and Invisible Moon, putting Merc, Sibzy, and Lil Rang on the back foot. We're going to have to regroup with Deos Liberos with a 50% lead.
A lovely wraparound there. A couple members went through that right-hand tunnel to cut off the escape and force them to fight into that culling tower. What just happened? They they set up the turret on top of the tower and then dropped to the floor. That was interesting. But either way, Jeff Nato now charged up, and it looks like they're going in with at least the Omega Hurricane. Will Jeff be joining? Yes, as they go for a wraparound to extend the ultimate to push on in, but get taken down. The targeting is too good.
The targeting is insane right now. Ooh, Maelstrom Madness going. The Strange is having a 1v1. Looks like we're going to see Insomniac get picked off by Evocaz on the Hela. Quick switch to Hela definitely changes the tide there. Big damage, big snipes as well. That's probably how the Storm got taken down. Even though you're right, they extended it. They actually extended the duration of that Jeff Nato. Storm got picked off by the Hela shots, and it was clean and it was concise, and they shut down what could have been a bad day for Eminence, but they're here. They got some percentage on the board just in time to stop Deos before they try to hit 100%.
94 to 19 right now. Eminence. Ooh, the knockback. Gotta be careful of that mag cannon. You're on the right side, the safe side here. Can't say the same for Deos Liberos, though, as they will be pushed all the way over to that pit of doom side. AvatarLiger comes on out, is blocked almost entirely with the shield, but that Sephiroth barrier is not enough to help Vibes as they try to protect them, but the BRB will bring them back. You can see just how close they are to the edge, and Magneto just waiting with these mag cannons. AvatarLiger way too far in the air.
Way too far, but could potentially enable a meteor, but it's not going to happen right now as Magneto's taken down. Fights are wrapping up right now. Deos Liberos taking it back. 4%, 3%. Their Strange is not up. I don't think Eminence make this one.
They're not able to make it in time. That's going to be round number 1 going to Deos Liberos. Beginning to get their lead in this early section, getting the Super Soldier Factory, and it's all been down to just how their positioning has been working. While they haven't landed every ultimate, what they have done is successfully position themselves in ways that they forced out mistakes. A couple of members too far forward. We saw a little bit of that AvatarLiger comes on out. It didn't get a huge setup, but it did put Tanari in the position where they were able to dive the backline and get some good damage with that Maelstrom of Madness, taking out Merc early, removing the crowd control, and they also, more importantly, got early, meaning that the ultimate did not go off, and the same for RP67.
Oh, that's true. Well, still has, Fate of Both Worlds ready to go, so that's going to be Vibes. We've got Invisible Boundary as well online. Merc's going to switch off the Vanguard and actually give it to Sibsy, who's going to be on the Magneto now. Bit of a triple duelist composition coming from Eminence right here. Maybe that's the juice they need to be able to bring the firepower back and shut down Tainari and Vashon's Vanguard presence on Deos Liberos. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds again. Console gameplay, very different to the PC gameplay. A lot of different kinds of picks and stuff. Very, extraordinary to see something different. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. Something spicy. But a portal has opened.
Up to the high ground, going to be moving on to the point with the defenders down low, the attackers up high. Going to be pushing their way forward. Tainari looking for an opening. It's Jeff already charged up. Hype pretty far away as Evo has to use an ultimate just to get out of danger here, but they're getting completely blocked once again. Sephiroth barrier, and they'll get sniped by Tainari from the sky.
Sniped down and out with the Eldritch Whip right there from Strange right there. Consistent with the Insomniac, straight in through the turret form. There it is right there, getting a pick on Lil Rain, taking that KO downtown. Pushing them away, pushing them back, taking Eminence back to spawn, and that's Deos Liberos themselves capture on time and 10% in the lead.
Extending up already, and this is the issue. When you have solo Vanguard, you will get zoned out. Vanguards can only really protect from one direction. This is why solo Vanguard compositions aren't utilized very often, and when they are, it's with something like a Wolverine, where you can control the direction of the fight by forcing other people out of position. Otherwise, your Vanguard, your backline's just going to get flanked, you're going to get picked off because no one can turn around to deal with it.
Oh, and speaking of deal with it, you're going to have to deal with Punisher setting up on the high ground with a bit of a portal, a shield from Seraphim there to help it out. High Vibes getting a pick on Eva Kaz on the sidelines. Clean, nice with it. But the final judgment is ready from Insomniac, and we might see it wind up as Lil Rang tries to go forward, taking out a bit of damage, starting to poke it up, trying to wind it up, but a Lunar Snow drops the dance, drops the Fate of Both Worlds into the final judgment coming from Lil Rang this time. Trying to straight through, trying to get a pick, trying to get some damage out. Looks like, we're going to see Storm into the back line right now. Wind it up, land it down. The Thunder has caught down, and High Vibes is going in. We're going to see Merc get an epic on Legend in the back. Tainari forced to CB over there. Magneto's getting the picks they need to win this fight. The Jeff Nader is shredded, taken out. And RP67 with a dominating double KO. We're seeing Insomniac get a double KO themselves, cleaning up the last two from Eminence. And Vashon taking out Lil Rang, leaving Evo Kaz to hide in a corner.
Gets found out, gets caught, but hypermobile Star-Lord able to get away. And that was so nicely done by Hypevips. They went in, used the ultimate while that Punisher was still in ultimate form. That is risky because you can take a lot of damage, but they were able to just delay it for as long as possible. Look at that, just sieging it through the doorway. But they delayed it long enough that they were able to utilize most of that ultimate form being taken out. Then they engaged, forced a load of attention to come their way, disengaged until the Jeff came back in, and then they went back in, baiting out multiple defensive and escape tools, meaning that no one had a way to get away from that Jeff Nader, as point number 2 and map number 1 is taken by Deos Liberos.
Taken. Absolute masterclass right there. Taking a 2-0. Tainari, MVP deserved. putting in the work. A little bit of a last-minute Iron Fist action as well. Oh, actually, sorry, is that Star-Lord? Star-Lord?
I believe that was
I don't know
Iron
what they were
Fist.
playing. Iron Fist, Star-Lord. You know, the shared MVP screens always confuse me, but that's going to be one. Oh, for Deos Liberos right there. Feeling
I am
confident. Yeah,
incorrect.
it's
It was
definitely Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Definitely. I had a feeling. I was like, Iron Fist? Wait a minute.
I mean,
Wait a minute.
both of them are pretty fast rollouts, so either was possible, but Star-Lord is definitely
true.
faster and, you know, more consistent if you're trying to get back to the point in time. Looking at the
Oh, that is
statistics,
true.
top KOs, 18 for Hype Vims,
Ooh.
11 final hits for Insomniac, just melting through people here. And the Jeff, not bad, over double the damage of any of the other strategists in the game, while actually keeping up a little bit in terms of healing, like a little bit behind 10k to 13k. Of course, the team that is losing will have significantly more healing because they were getting KO'd more often, but overall, compared to MC Legends, they kept up pretty well.
Definitely, absolutely consistent right there. Put it into work. Definitely can see that coming forward from Deos Liberos right there. I got to bring a bit of attention to Insomniac, actually. You're right, the final hit's 11, but a lot of the time, just that zoning, the turret positioning, that just wasn't getting shut down. We didn't see much presence from CBZ or even EvoCast to try and, you know, wrap around, try to get an angle potentially, shutting down Insomniac's Punisher turret. And then by the time they had the chance to make a move, it was just rough for a go. But I'm excited to see how this next map goes. You know, it's a best of 7. Anything can happen. A lot of maps could be played here today. It's going to be cool to see how it all unfolds, you know. Win streaks can happen. You can 4-0. It's going to be rough if it's a 4-0. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get a more competitive series. I want something exciting, something fiery, something fun. We're going to find out very soon as we're heading into this next map. Where are we going to? What map are we going to, Tetcher?
We're going to AvatarLiger. This is a fun one.
Ooh.
We're going to be heading in the newest map in the pool, at least as of the time of us recording this, which is on the 9th of July, aka 2 days before the new patch, meaning new map. The Celestial Husk will be coming very soon. This video should come out on the 10th, so tomorrow you guys should be seeing the Celestial Husk in the new patch.
I'll tell you what I want. I want to know what the new competitive map rotation will be, because I missed that Tokyo map. I do miss that Tokyo map.
It has
and of course the
and
the Yigsguard domination map. I'd love to see that back in the pool. That'd be cool.
That one might be a little bit more unique on. I personally did enjoy it a lot. I like the outside garden part, but throne room I could go without.
It's the one with the chandelier at the top?
That's the one with the chandelier. To be fair, the chandelier was cool. I liked that, but
that's true.
It's just a box. It's just a box.
It's a painful box. But speaking of a box, we're gonna box out Human Torch, get him banned. No fire in the sky today. Storm's being protected again. Luna protected again. This time, no Groot. Groot being shut down and out. Interesting not to see the Groot. Considering nobody played Groot nor banned Groot last map. Actually, yeah, no. Yeah, if I'm correct, yeah, nobody played or banned Groot last map, so interesting to see that one be targeted out. Loki's been protected, surprising, which was banned last time by Eminence. Going to be keen to see how that unfolds. We're going to see the final protect coming from Eminence here. Who's it going to be? Prediction, it's going to be Magic. No, I'm joking.
Nope, you're honestly not that far off. As we look at that Groot ban and that Black Panther protect and the Loki protect, you've got to ask, why are we differing so far from the previous map? And the answer is the way this map is built. There are some very wide open points, but more than anything, there are tunnels, there are pathways, and there are so many choke points that force everyone into these big funnels where everyone is forced to group together. You will get grouped. You will be fighting in a tunnel at some point, and that is where Groot Thornlash Walls, Black Panther resets, and, if they wanted to, a Magic could absolutely blitz through a front line and create so much potential. I actually did see a Magic in the EMEA console finals, so it did happen. It did work out in a similar way, but the Loki invulnerability with the regeneration domain is one of the soft counters to those setups.
Wonderful. And yeah, there it is. I had a feeling Vashon was going to load up the thing. Thing is absolutely great on Araka. I have much personal experience running it as well. Tight corners, low ceilings. You know, nobody's going to fly too far away from a haymaker that could fly up to you. And not to mention in Season 3, those haymakers are going to be flying. It's a good time to be a Thing player.
Likewise, I love Thing. I haven't had a chance. Like Thing and Hulk, I haven't had a lot of chance to play them recently, which has been pretty sad. But I feel like the thing at least might be changing. Hulk, not enough people play Namor. They're not the most exciting character, therefore I don't get to play Hulk very often because most of the time, at least in my rank, there's more than enough Vanguards left up because everyone just bans out Black Panther and Spider-Man.
We're going to definitely see that Namor Hulk coming out next season. I really think so, because especially with Namor's projectile speed being buffed, borderline hit scan at this point, game changer. Namor mains didn't need a buff, but yeah, we're going back to Squid City, I'll tell you that.
As a Namor main, I think he needs more buffs, as we and not just due to balance, just due to
I share your delusion with Moon Knight.
Yes.
We need more Moon Knight buffs. Everyone says, no, his ultimate was broken. I said, no, you just didn't know how to dodge. Come on, man.
What half a second isn't enough for you? Needy, selfish.
It's just the moon, bro. The moon's far away. It's all the way in space, man. How's it hitting you? Alright, well, speaking of hitting me, what's hitting me right now is this Hela pushing forward, putting some damage down Merc on the rounds, cooking them up, putting Deos in a negative position right now, trying to get some sustain from their strategist lineup. It's good to know Jeff is now on the invisible woman right there, cooking them up, you know. It's feeling fantastic. Movie coming out in cinemas near you eventually. Can't wait for that one. It's going to be a good one. But of course, you know, Bluey's going to be on Magneto here. Magneto, as we know, most consistent Vanguard at the moment, excluding Emma, who's banned out. So we're going to give it to Magneto. True. Keeping everyone sustained, having the shields, having the meteors. The meteors are probably one of the most dominant ultimates in MRC and MRI. It just is. It's just so shutting down of especially Lunar Snows. So we need to think of a name for this person instead of just having a bit of a moment. Oh, okay, never mind. Let's lock back in for a moment. Tell me about this boundary, Tetcher.
So right now, the invisible boundary is just pure defensives here because we're just seeing a dominant setup. Rag tried to dive in, got punished for it. It's pure just Dos Liberos not wanting to give up distance. They did not need to burn that. They could have sacrificed someone and still held, but it's not about that. It's about the consistency. They'd rather burn the cooldown and not lose any distance. As currently we're on 10 meters. They'd just rather play a little bit more defensively. They've got this triple Vanguard composition, so they're more than happy to just play slow and steady and just to make sure that nothing is ever gained, nothing is ever taken by Eminence, as Little Rag is going to be coming back through once again into the backline, but the defense is being held so beautifully. Finally, Hype will go down, Jeff goes down, MC Legends not even going to ult, they are just skedaddle in here. RPing.
Kaz. Bit of Bucky action in the background there, getting themselves a nice, clean, unofficial triple KO. Potentially getting another reset on the Loki clones, trying to chase more. Not going to be the case for now. Going to see how it all unfolds. Of course, you know, Krakoa's rotating around, making steps towards their friend, wanting to free them at the end of the line, at the end of Arako, bring them back from the Ultron virus. But, you know, at the moment now, oh, bit of a panic from Tainari there, almost fell off the map there. Spider-Man got the quick feet, got the quick movements, going to go straight for the Lunar Snow, hit the uppercut, put her in a bad position, and try to get her, but actually gets taken down by Lil Rank, peeling for their backline. In what world do the Black Panthers protect their strategist now? It's a change of the world, change of the pace. Normally they're going for the enemy strategist.
But in this case, it works out. Spider-Man hypermobile. Who could keep up with that mobility? The Black Panther. Tainari trying to make the most of the map area here with this hole in the center and try to isolate people. If they can get someone offside the map, fantastic. Ivakarona going to be coming out of Invisible Boundary for the extra defense, but the clone with the God of Mischief into the fate of both worlds is going to try and delay this hold for Eminence, but Eminence, they're just losing people on the flanks. The team is too split. Bluey is taken down. Who said a dog can't play Marvel Rivals? That's going to be a spectacular spin, and down goes RP6.
Count on me.
Down they go. RP6 taken down by the Storm, finishing up what Spider-Man's damage was leading up to. Tainari on the corner right now. They're holding it down. Deos Liberos feeling confident, knowing they only got to defend one more fight to stop any potential pushing power from Eminence here. Going forward to see how it all unfolds. Omega Hurricane online. It's going to start winding up and it's going to drop like thunder directly onto the Lunar Snow right there. Getting absolutely nullified by the Loki lamps. The Lure runes are there from RP67. Bit of fantastic action. Invisible Woman on the high ground right now, giving a sustain to the team. We're going to see Luna drop the fate of both worlds and bring up the dance and bring up the beats. But it's going to be a good one. Lil Rain trying to get an angle right now. Let's see how the Panther lands. The Vibranium speed directly into the Stephen Strange right there, pushing forward. Again, both teams in overtime now, trying to make it happen. Agamotto from Insomniac, taking up P67, but 2 on the side from Deos are taken down. Tinari as well. Vashon returns the favor, taking out Bluey. Trade for trade. That's 2 for 3 right now. We're gonna see Merc and EvoCaz take out Insomniac and Jeff, but Hypers returns the favor, taking out EvoCaz. It's a 1v1 between the Thing and the King, and there it is as Merc gets Hypervabs out the back line. Lurang gets Vashon there, finally taking out the Thing. Merc's getting pushed in with the Seraphim Shield. Overtime's ticking off. A portal from Insomniac's gonna bring Deos Liberos into the final chance to defend this before Eminence pushed forward. Overtime is ticking down. It's pushing off. We're going to see the Roar of Bust. It's going to go off. Who's going to be there with the Luna trying to take it out? High vibes. Am I going to see a Panther try to set it up? 1.53 meters left. There goes the Luna. There goes the Invisible Woman. Seraphim is ready to go. And we're going to see the Maelstrom of Madness zone him out. Lil Rang's pressuring forward. And it looks like Eminence might have the juice to keep this going. Deos Liberos trying hard to defend. Legends taken down. Then we're going to see the clones are not set up enough for them to defend. And yes, it is Eminence capturing and getting themselves some time in their bank.
The last second swap to the Thor here for EvoCaz on that last push, and then consistently being able to use it to pressure people off of the objective. You of course can't displace the Thing with Thor with that Storm Surge, but what you can do is absolutely melt through Loki clones. You can absolutely get some good knockbacks onto anyone who tries to get into your way, as it's this time Deos Liberos' time to swap over to a triple duelist composition.
Oh, this is interesting. Triple duelist from Deos Liberos instead of running the triple Vanguard, which I believe we're seeing from Eminence now, taking their strategy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So many unorthodox compositions, and it's paying off for both teams, actually. Keeping it spicy, changing it up, actually making momentum happen for their favor. But, you know, we're going to see how it all unfolds here. Halfway through the map, again, just when we thought Eminence really weren't going to make it past first gate, they actually got themselves halfway through. Legends taking out Lil Rang over there. Hype Vibes helping out, putting a bit of damage there too. There's a bit of poking now going on Eminence, and it looks like Deos are going to be able to push back this forward pressure from Eminence just for a little bit more time.
The battle of lightning between EvoCaz and Hype Vibs as they're forced to back away. Awakening Rune is going to be activated. Trying to target them takes too much damage. That's part of the new buff. You can see they cancelled that Awakening Rune so they could Storm Surge to get out of danger and get a little bit of extra bonus health during that surge. A great little survival trick that has just been given to Thor since the new buff, as there's the God of Thunder from above, but the disengage is too fast.
Dropping down with that massive thunder right there. It's going to bring them forward, going to bring the power out. We're going to see an Agamotto in the skies. There it is. Holy. The Lokis are having a fight on the high ground away from the team. You love to see it. The panic is setting in right now. And Insomniac getting the pick on Lil Rang. Luna's going to take down as well. We're going to see him, Insomniac taking out RP. Bluey taking out Tinari. Oh, that's a big triple K for Insomniac on the Bucky. Doing what they can. Get another reset on the Loki clone. Now it's time to face down the Thor. Do you have enough damage to pour into the Thor? Thor's going to try to get away. You're going to go for the uppercut. Try to catch up the Thor. Try to get your reset. But you're going to get slowed down by Doctor Strange and Black Panther. Lil Rang getting the pick on Insomniac there. Hitting the Roar Bust straight for the Invisible Woman. Hitting the animation cancel. Whipping it forward. Going painfully progressing forward. Get ourselves the opening. The meters are ticking down. We get another bit of time added to the bank of Eminence as they push past second gate. We're into the third and final section of Arakko right now. Does Eminence have what it takes to take it to the end, or will Deos Liberos finally lock them down?
This is one of the hardest points to push in the game. Multiple maps have some tough positions. This one, the spawn point, is so close to the actual ending point. Triple caps on this map are incredibly rare, as just if people can reinforce so quickly, swap the stuff like Captain America, swap the stuff like the Black Panther, Iron Fist, Star-Lord, and just rush the point over and over again. Black Panther in the backline, Lil Rang looking for anyone they can try and isolate. In the meantime, Merc is still dueling down in this underground tunnel, the creepy tunnel, as a couple people have dubbed it, because look at it.
Ooh. Actually terrifying. Thing of nightmares right there. One Division, where you at? That is exactly what we want to see right now. Merc pushing forward, holding confidence. Oh, the binary blade. Oh, getting juggled around by the Thor. Oh, Agamotto out of nowhere. EvoCaz getting the pick. Woo! Had that thing down. Hair from Star-Lord. There it is right there. Taking out Lil Rang. Bit of galactic legend right there. Just taking it to the skies. Shredding them up. We're going to see the fate of both worlds drop from both Lunas this time. Woo-hoo! Ooh! Actually, sorry, that was a low-key copy. My apologies. Oh, never mind. There it is. Yep, both Lunas. Everybody's dancing out here. That's a third Fate of both worlds. Into the Magneto Meteor, taking out Tainari with a long shot from Merc. We're going to be pushing now with the Magneto, pushing forward, taking the Bucky out. Panthers there, Rungs there, going to get stunned out by the Strange right there. It's going to be shut down. Big Thor putting in pressure right there. That's exactly what you want to see from EvoKaz. We're going to ramp it up as we see Doctor Strange zoning out the Hela, who's taking to the skies. The Shield of Seraphim always shuts down a bit of Hela damage right there. But Araka is moving, but there's a couple more steps to take. 0.99 meters. Who's going to stop the momentum? Who's going to be able to hold it down? Are they going to be able to push and take that third point? It's very rare. The spawns right there, just like he said. But overtime's ticking off, and it looks like Deos Liberos recapture and stop the momentum just shy of the end.
Less than 3 meters to the end there. A fantastic hold. It's so difficult to defend that point. The reinforcements came in just as fast as they could. The Spider-Man, one of the fastest rollout characters in the game, just to try and touch. But that is still an incredibly impressive push coming out from Eminence there, getting almost all the way to the triple cap. And Deos Liberos, they essentially have to do what on this map is almost impossible and actually get a triple cap to try and turn this round.
Well, there it absolutely is. Madness. Look at how the bands actually changed the tide. Crazy to see Panther and Loki cooking now that they're not banned, putting in the work. Let's see, ultimately, now they're switching up the pace. Now how Deos Liberos going to perform. We do know Eminence got held quite a while. They lost that, 4-minute time bank, got them down into OT at the very beginning. Question is, are they going to turn this first corner? Are they going to get held in spawn? What is going to be their fate going into Eminence now, who do have, I believe, that triple Vanguard in the defense composition? That is pivotal. It could change the tide very, very fast.
Going a little more heavily on the beef for the defense. Deos Liberos, they've decided that if there's more tanks, then we might as well just try and burst it. They're sticking with this triple duelist style, 2 of which are essentially melee and hype. Very risky here. Now, Hela can be extremely effective, but the problem is when you're dealing with that much tankiness, you're mostly just padding numbers because those health bars are so big that they can get healed up very quickly. So we'll see if they are going to be able to burst through this enough as Insomniac flies past on the Black Panther instead of Little Rag this time, looking to see if they can get any of those backline snipes.
That's what we want to see. A bit of Vibranium Spear action right there. Big snipes. Oh, the animation cancel reset dash into taking out RP67. Farming the real Loki, the true Loki, shutting down Sustain. There goes Bluey into a corner, high pushing him forward. You're going to see Magneto try to hold a bit of ground, try to defend from the pressure. Does manage to take out Insomniac. Insomniac in return takes out one of their own. Hype's going to take out Lil Rang in return. There goes the Bucky. You can see Spider-Man try to tussle with the Thor. Get clapped by Merc right there, clean on the Magneto. The Vanguards are pushing forward, trying to stop the momentum. You can see a bit of rotations from EvoKaz using the Araka portals, trying to get an angle, trying to get a footing. As we see Bluey on the thing now, holding the front line, holding it down, getting the KO. EvoKaz off the map, but did take Legends with them. But it was a bit of an unfortunate, tricky situation there, but still the value is evolved. Still the value is achieved. Jeff taking out Bluey on the thing, went a bit too deep there. We're going to see how it all unfolds. Amplifier drops down from the Rocket Rocket. Tainari phase shifting right now, forcing the Luna to pop the Fate of both worlds, given Sustain all the way, pouring it into Eminence right there from the Loki clone, of course, from RP67. We still have the true Luna ready to go and ready to dance online in the next fight we need. Insomniac's going to focus them nice and early first, and there it is. It's going to pop the Luna, Snow, and the Fate of both worlds kicks off, and we're going to see things for our Haymakers, and we're going to see Mark forward on the Legends, and Hype takes RP67. We see a couple dropping from Vashon right there. Hype's gonna get the self-res. That's the Thor team. That's the Asgardian team up right there. Woo! Cooking from the Black Panther Insomniac, cooking it up as they see, but are taken down by Bluey.
Bluey with a nice turnaround here. Once again, we saw how valuable this thing can be against characters like the Black Panther. They ground people with mobility to stop them from getting away. Not able to catch a little raccoon, though, using the jump pad. They're on the run, and they will get out of here. It's Jeff, just being very, ironically, very squirrely, despite being a raccoon, able to just get out of danger. EvoKaz needs to keep a good eye on that Thor force. That's what stopped them dashing away last time, and gets absolutely ambushed up here on the high ground by Hype.
Hype putting in so much damage up on the Hela right now. Landing shot after shot, going for the headshot, absolutely not missing a single fire. The single shards are flying. You can see Hela putting in the work, throwing as many shards and daggers into that hallway right there, putting Eminence on the back foot as they're just getting farmed right now. Tynari taking out Bluey with the big Soldier Troop right there. Tynari also taken out. Oh, EvoCast taken down by that. Thor's going to get put out of position. Then we're going to see maybe a Bucky potentially take to the skies, bring up the Kraken Impact if they see an opening, but instead they're going to let him pass. They're going to let him take this, and they're going to regroup with their team and fight next defense.
Insomniac looking to see if they can catch anyone used to Bionic Hook. Also has that Kraken Impact. Both Bucky's already charged up. And Ultimate Economy very heavily in favor of Deos Liberos, as is the time. They did get slowed down a little bit, but they did not hit overtime, meaning that they have over 3 minutes to push into that point number 2. This is where Eminence made up time. The question is, can Deos Liberos mirror the success and go in with a much larger pool?
Of course they can. Anybody can mirror the success when you have the power of friendship and teamwork. At the end of the day, anything can happen. But going forward into this right now, I want to know what's about to happen with the Hella, because they're all low. They're all getting shredded. Hype takes one. Lucky's there lining it up. Doesn't even need to pop the ult, but decides, you know what? I'm going to bring out the impact. I'm going to go again. And I'm going to go again. And I'm going to go for you. And I'm going to go again. That's a 4th reset right there. 3rd KO taken out. That's a quadra KO for Insomniac on the Bucky. Doing it up, doing the justice as a thunderbolt that he is, putting Eminence back into their spawn. Just when you thought it was over, the portal opens up.
Is this friendship? Is this the friendship I have just been informed about? Absolute violence with a Kraken Impact, running back and forth into the spawn to try and zone this, but Deos Liberos, they just made such good time there. 3 minutes and 40 left to push into that point number 3, a little bit more than what Eminence had, and this is rough news for Eminence. They're already down 1 map, and now with extra time, Deos Liberos are cruising on through, but Ultimate Economy, they have Eye of Agamotto, God of Mischief, Meteor M, and they have that Fate of both worlds as EvoCast takes down Hype.
Ooh, taking them down, putting in the work right there. Because trying to get those Loki clones out of here, not even allow them to be a variable in the next fight. They get chased up to the high ground from a Doctor Strange. Then we're going to see the Amplifier drop down from the Rocket Raccoon, from Jeff OMG, trying to give him sustain, but they're going to get shot down and shut out. It's going to be shut down and shut out of there, and it's not going to be available. Into the Panther, into the back line, the Vibranium claws are going off, and we're seeing a bit of a chance to go for a Royal Bust. But it just wasn't enough, as it was shut down by Insomniac with the buckshot so consistent, where they're absolutely taking them down. And even if we're not going to see Insomniac get that pick, Hype is going to be there with the Hella shots. So much duelist power pouring in from the Deos Liberos right now, putting in the work, putting Eminence on the back foot. It might be tough to get on that triple vanguard. They've switched off it. They have a Bucky of their own now. EvoCast on the Bucky, 72% to that Kraken Impact. Let's see how it kicks off, eh?
Deos Liberos, they're not actually going for big KOs here. They're just keeping the pressure on, playing far forward. Because if you can wipe your opponents on this point, it's a really guaranteed way to actually get the capture. But if you stagger them, then they're just going to keep coming in one by one. Lil Rag flies on past, back on their own Black Panther. Here comes that Cosmic Yard Amplifier from Legends to make sure that the team is topped up with the Clone to the Fate of both worlds from RP67.
There it is right now. Lunar Snow dancing away, forcing forward. Merc's going forward. Gonna get double KO themselves. Put them on the back foot just when you thought that 3-minute time bank was valuable. Right now, it's looking a bit rough. It's looking a bit rough, you know. Question is, how can it be held down? Eminence got only a couple fights left.
Lil Rang is hiding off to the flank. Now, there is a possibility they could try and C9. If they go too far forwards, oh, do you go for the violence or do you go for the cap? They've decided it is time to just make sure that they can wrap around and keep the enemy team zoned off. They don't want to roll back and defend the objective. It's all about making sure that everyone is down. No one can capture the objective if they're all down.
Down and out, and so is this Magneto Meteor. Will it connect? Ooh, getting actually Rocket Raccoon there. You know, when you least expect it, it still managed to connect. Caught off! Agamotto! Oh my days! Enabling them forward. Black Panther getting the pick right there. There it is right now. Strange putting in the work. Lunar Snow getting a double, taking out Ty and Bosch.
That's going to be a big ore from me.
That's an interesting one right there. 45 seconds left. How is this going to unfold?
They still have Portal, but they're sticking on that Doctor Strange. So instead of portaling in right away, they're going to just try and run in and hope, I guess, that if anyone goes down, it's Tainari first. And this is the point. They have Eye of Agamotto. They don't want to swap off and go for the more consistent, let whoever goes down first teleport in. They have to now Eye of Agamotto and either win or hope Tanari goes down so they can teleport the rest of the team in when they start to fall as well. Here comes the commitment, RP67 with the God of Mischief, Kraken Impact. There is that Eye of Agamotto. Now we need to keep an eye on Tainari. They need to fall, but the rest of the team needs to hold. But with both the Vanguards gone, this might just be doomed, Liger.
Again and again, the Kraken Impact from Eva Kaz. Getting a triple KO, but it's going to get shut down by Hella. Hype Hella, overtime sticking off and down. I don't believe anybody reaches. Insomniac's just going to throw some final shots, and there it is. Eminence, hold it down. Get themselves this win. That's 1-1 in the map so far. Woo! Now we have a series. This is exciting.
Very nicely done, evening up the score here with a fantastic hold. And there, as I said it earlier, there is the risk of Doctor Strange. He's such a strong character, but when you have him in these final moments, you have to take the gamble. Do we actually hold until we get that ultimate up so that we can just push on in and try and win with an Eye of Agamotto, or do we take the more consistent setup of swapping off it, losing that ultimate, and potentially trying to duel your opponents? And if the first person who goes down can get to Strange in time, you can extend that fight and get a second chance. It's the win in one go versus having that backup plan strategy. In this case, we did see Deos Liberos going for the attempt at a one-shot blow-up, but it did not work out. They were cleaned out by the defenders.
Oh, you know what I actually noticed? I think the Punisher ban actually stopped both teams from even taking it to that end point. I think just not having that shred, not having that power to just burst through, especially the Luna ultimate, especially the Fate of Both Worlds, you know, you had to rely on getting picks, you know. Bucky got some picks here and there, a bit of action from Panther. Hello's definitely getting some picks as well, but no one was really shredding, actually like wiping through a team as we've seen Punishers do in MRI and MRC. But MVP to Merc, big Magneto presence, a lot of damage dealt, a lot of damage blocked. As you know, that's the way you want it. Big sustain, big presence. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. I feel like I would have loved to see more from Bashan's thing. I feel like there was a couple of switches there. We saw Thor earlier as well. Thor changed the tide a little bit, you know, a little bit of this and that. But yeah, Loki being unbanned is an interesting one. It really does force that mirror comp. I think the Luna Loki, it's still prime. You got to run that one. Rocket was a bit of a struggle situation.
It was a big saving grace, like you say, having that Loki protect against a lot of the Black Panther dives, a couple Meteor M's at times. 18 final hits, though, for the BPs, a little rag, and for Insomniac, who was the Black Panther on the side of Deos Liberos during that game. But the difference comes in with the damage. Insomnia, 41,000 damage, over 10k more than almost anyone else in the game. The only person it's less than is their own teammate Hype with 33k. Just what an incredible damage performance, and still not enough.
Wow. There it is right there. I want to know, Tetcher. This third map, it's going to be interesting. Curious to see what game mode we're going into, how things could change. I think it's almost time for a bit of convoy action. It's going to be exciting to see how it all unfolds. It's going to be a good one. Going into the action, I believe, you know, it would be nice to see how that really cheekily goes forward. We're going to be loading up again Eminence versus Deos Liberos. This is their third map together, 1-1 each side. Let's see who's going to, you know, take the deciding tide and bring it back in their favor as we head to Spider Islands on the convoy. Let's get to it.
Spider Islands. This map has one of the most aggressive corners to try and hold in that first rotation. And this is where we started to see the popularization of the spawn hold, where teams will just go for, starting with Team Peps in the EMEA, just go for a massive lockdown to keep your opponents on that first objective and never let them push any further. This has been seen a fair amount in different regions, and very recently has moved on to maps like Midtown has become the main spawn hold map. But this map can still give you that double reinforced style of starting on multiple vanguards, maybe a Penny, maybe a Rocket, and then swapping to Doctor Strange for a reinforce to try and hold even more aggressively. We've seen multiple iterations of it through multiple regions. So far, neither of these teams batting out any of the initial tools you would need to even play it or counter it. Only the Storm being protected, which is a great siege breaker.
Yeah, definitely going to be a change. Ooh, Groot protected. Now we want to see. I do want to see that. I do want to see some Groot here. It's a good map for Groot, as you said. Close corners, big corners. most importantly, you know, Groot can shut that down. Groot can group people up. The Loki is protected again. Interesting to see. I'm curious if this is going to actually bring out the Punisher ban again. This time from Deos Liberos. Might change the tides a bit. We'll see how it unfolds. I'm really curious to see why the Torch has been banned on this map especially. I believe actually there's a lot of... sorry, let me correct myself. I know why it's been banned because there's a lot of high
good.
cover. But wait a minute. Hulk ban? Bruce Banner ban? That's been a minute since we've seen that one in the tournaments. Bruce Banner ban?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's
Wonder
not
why.
like they're just they've banned out all the Vanguards, so Bruce is all that's left. There's still Magneto, there's still Strange, there's Groot, as we mentioned. Bruce is really a big boon for when it comes to the Namor, of course, giving them that Gamma Squid.
It's true.
So the question is, why are they taking this direction? Were they planning on playing that Storm themselves and wanted the flies to be dealt with? And yes, they are. Dios Liberos currently were, at least for a couple seconds there, hovering on a Star-Lord and a Storm double flyers, but realizing that Groot is going to be in the game, double Vanguard's going to be a little bit more useful. You need people who can actually survive potentially getting walled off by Groot, and Punisher, one of the fastest wall breakers in the game.
Oh yeah, big shred. We're definitely going to see what I expect now. I think we're going to see some pushes to the end, especially with the Punishers out. Curious to see how that all unfolds. Triple Vanguard from Eminence walking out again. Magneto, Groot, and Thor. Interesting. Only one dealing damage on this squad. Actually, sorry, hold on.
Wait.
Triple Vanguard, triple strategist,
It's a
no duelist.
hold. Wait, hang on. Let's swap in. Oh, boo! Spoiled us.
Oh, Lorang, what you planning? Okay, it's the Bucky. We're doing 3, 2, 1.
We got baited.
3, 2, 1 composition now here. Bit of bait is what it is. Let's see how this first Strange pushes off. No portal to start off the fight. We'll see how it just goes as they walk out now. Just destroying that early terrain. Getting a high ground Thor action right there. Bit of the Maelstrom going forward right there. We're going to see Storm pushing in. Seeing how it all unfolds. What are we thinking, Tetcher? How is this one going to turn on out?
So right now with this initial setup, Eminence do have a very solid hold potential. Problem is, Dios Liberos have the exact kind of composition to be dealing with this. This Groot is going to be able to delay for so long, but with Storm damage boosting the Punisher, they can break this. Other options here might have been a Squirrel Girl or a Moon Knight if you wanted to really break the spawn hold if Eminence had played a little bit further up. But Eminence are playing just a hard-to-pick-off composition very slowly. As such, they're not in a position where Dios Liberos need to actually swap to anything like that. Instead, Eminence just build up ultimates and decide to commit for a zone early by zoning back Dios Liberos to spawn. In the meantime, Taimari up on the high ground, and with those big ultimates already expiring, they commit to the backline dive, but there's too much sustain coming out. They'll finally get wiped out, and Eminence, even with all of that beef, all of that extra health, they will be cleaned up off the board.
Yep, they probably popped too early, I would say. Definitely want to bring it back. Maybe a bit later next time. You know, you never want to ult first. Ulting first can sometimes be bad, especially in defensive situations. You kind of want to counter out what could have been Dios' push. But we're going to see that portal coming from Bluey this time, just to bring their team back to position, back to defense. See if they can stop that spider moving. But we're going to see the final judgment coming from Insomniac, shredding them up on the Punisher, taking out Happy and Bluey, putting in the work. And yeah, just when you thought they could have potentially defended it, they still had one more ultimate up their sleeve for them to pour out and get themselves past that first gate.
Damage boost plus Cosmic Yard Amplifier plus Final Judgment equals a very removed enemy team. Absolutely cleaned up off the board, making their way up to the high ground to set up a culling turret. Insomniac going heavy on the zone. Evokaz on the Punisher of their own here, switching it out. And Taimari, once again, moving off of Vanguard temporarily to bring out the Spider-Man.
Interesting to see how this triple duelist composition works. With Dios Liberos, those who know, Tainari does have a couple Spidey spots on this map to be able to pull people off. Get some instant picks right there. Gonna zone out the Magneto, force the Meteor. Is the Meteor gonna... Oh, it crushes down onto Insomniac, taking out the Punisher. Clean Meteor coming forward. Bit of a tough situation for Tainari right there. Final Judgment pouring in this time from Evokaz on the defense right there. Gonna be aiming directly for the Magneto, who's gonna absorb a lot of that damage. Throw a Meteor back. Managed to zone out a bit of the Eminence squad right there, but it's going to be interesting to see who's flying around. Evokaz might be able to laser him down, shut down the momentum. Tainari's trying to get an angle, trying to get in there, see if they can get a bit of a combo, trying to maybe get a pick right there. Merc is enough to get out of here and take down the Bashan right there going to be pushing forward, and we see how it unfolds. Tetcher, what are we thinking about the spectacular spin? Could it be going off in the next fight?
The spectacular spin would be a great tool to try and get him, but they need to make sure that they've taken out Loki, or at least forced out that regeneration domain first. Otherwise, it's going to be turned on so easily, and they're just going to get their backline completely destroyed. Bluey, I have Agamotto, and there's, well, you can't use it now unless you get a quick isolation on the backline, because there's no follow-up at all. Team is wiped at the board, and Taimari actually just walks off the map. They don't want to get staggered from the rest of their team, so they just try to pull someone else off with them. Don't get it, they just go down to make sure they're not caught out of position.
Out of position is exactly what they want right here. For them to be able to keep holding that defense. But eyes on the fact, Kraken Impact's ready to go. This could be flying from Lil Rang this time. But of course, Hurricane, Omega Hurricane, ready from Hype right now. Let's see how it unfolds. I'm waiting for it. I'm ready for it. Magneto's pushing forward. Binary Blades is swinging. We're going to feel the wrath of the storm as she crashes down. Going straight for that Winter Soldier. Taking out Lil Rang. Going to try to work through the Loki clones. Try to push the rest of Eminence back out of here. Forcing. Oh, Evo Kaz gets that judge during the Executioner. Trying to shred out Hype. He's going to hide behind some natural terrain right now. Zone him out. Just when they thought they had a bit of push, they did get some momentum, but Eminence is there to utilize their ultimates to shut down that power, shut down that movement. Let's see how the Amplifier cooks us off, as we're going to see another last final judgment coming from this time on the Punisher from Insomniac right there. Into the Magneto video, into another Agamotto. It doesn't get the value they needed, but they do take out the Punisher, who gets rezzed back again in this next fight, and the Kraken Impact kicks off. Tetcher, we think this one might be a chain?
They're going to attempt to, but no! Media M catches them on the way out. Merc is brought back by Orr, as they will make their way in with that Cosmic Guard Amplifier from the phone of the God of Mischief to push on forwards. Deos Liberos, they've set themselves up very nicely with this push, and they're finding so much value with Insomniac due to the positioning of Eminence, whereas EvoCaz, every time they've altered, the Deos Liberos have been very far back, almost as if they're waiting for it, waiting for the timing counter Cosmic Guard Amplifier from It's Jeff, and we're seeing Deos Liberos melting through Eminence here.
Unbelievable right there. So much pushing power going forward right there. Magneto putting the presence on. Bit of the metal shards, enabling them, just shutting down all the Loki clones, not giving them momentum. Looks like Deos just so confident right now, just gonna walk up straight to the secondary ramp. You know, their team's not even anywhere near, but they're like, nah, I'm gonna push forward, I'm gonna zone them out, I'm gonna get them worried, I'm gonna get them this and that. You know why? Because Agamotto is online, and so is a fully charged Maelstrom, which they're gonna dispel for now, so that you can just keep building up charge for the next fight. Not let it hold them back. Bit of a tactical dispel there. Let's see how it all unfolds, eh?
The Maelstrom, of course, when you build that up, the price of magic passive on the Doctor Strange means that you actually receive less healing the higher that Maelstrom is charged. So it is good to burst that out when you need it, when you need a little bit of protection from the backline, from behind onto Little Rag. But Regeneration Domain is going to shut that down, hiccup the counter from Bluey, and they will not be as unlucky. They get a clean pickup onto the Loki, prevent any Regeneration Domains from the other side.
That is actual big impact right there from the Agamottos. And then speaking of a big impact, we're going to see the Meteor crash down on Insomniac, who doesn't get to have their final judgment today. Hype's going to get picked off by Evo Kaz right there on the Bucky, feeling confident, feeling slick with it right now. Having a bit of a 1v1 with the Doctor Strange. Will they be able to ditch out? Just enough a bit of power. Shut them down right now. Just going to be in position getting away. Get behind their Vanguard as the Magneto is walking up. And we're going to see Loki go for a clone. And it's going to lead to starting us off with our double amplifier?
Double amplifier? I don't think it stacks. It's from the other side. RP67 are going to be mirroring it as they both go in for a little bit of a buff from their side. EvoCaz just sending in as much damage as they can. Here comes amplifier number 3 from It's Jeff. The maximum damage for everyone here as Lil Rag is trying to melt through the front line, but they just can't seem to get a pickup once again. Insomniac playing down low, utilizing the cover. I am Agamotto in the back line, and Insomnia is giving everything they can, taking out amplifier number 4. as we push on in, trying to deal with this Strange as Bluey plays far up, but Vashon is in a perfect position to snipe the backline and enable this once again, what might actually be a literal final judgment as the Spider car moves in and the triple cap is just around the corner. Thor is attempting to delay as Evocaz gives everything they can, trying to force people off the point, trying to buy time with that extra Thor Force. Awakening Rune for the bonus health, but X-Wise now cancelling to get a little bit of a Storm Surge to keep the delays going, to keep the push going, but Omega Hurricane to clean out the defenders, but the reinforcements are coming in so quick, Liger.
Reinforcements from the Loki right there. Hype's going to take him out, chase him down. That's going to take one. That's two. That's three. Ooh, Hype with the Quadra KO at the very end, putting in work on the Storm. Picking them off as they try to walk to defend, but they're going to get the 3 push. They're going to get full capture of Tokyo right now, as we're going to flip it up, switch up the script, and see how the Eminence squad get their chance at pushing here.
Nice set up indeed. Eminence. They put on a pretty solid defense, but Deos Liberos just overran them. Every single final judgment from Insomniac was able to find at least one character and enable a push. As such, Deos Liberos with a triple cap on the board, now move into defenses. Yeah. Of course, they're going to stick with this Punisher for a little bit of culling turret defenses as Eminence. Do they adjust at all for their attack this time?
Ooh, adjusting might be key, might be pivotal going forward. Curious to see how that all unfolds, but I want to take note of something right here.
Please do.
We have 2-2 composition coming from Eminence. However, with Deos, we have a 2-2 composition. Have both these teams decided to not run the obscure 3-2-1 compositions anymore? I wonder.
Oh dear.
I do believe Punisher being available, maybe getting a consistency to be like, let's work, change things up. I spoke to some Eminence hovering triple strategist with the Ultron, kicking it up.
Ultron
Protocol team up.
We're gonna be seeing
about
this.
time.
Dark Protocol, baby, we get the Ultron Fire Hose for a little bit of extra healing. There is a Punisher, though, up on top of the building. They're going to need to target that down. That is Ultron's job, to melt through that as quick as possible as Evocaz begins sieging in from the high ground. This will be nerfed in Season 3.
It will be for now, but let's enjoy it while it lasts with a bit of that Stark Protocol action right there. Taken to the skies, the metal men. Many men. They wish a lot of pain upon them, but you know, they're in disguise. They're doing it up. They're feeling shiny. They're oiled up. They're good to go. WD-40, lock it in, lock it down. Shadows are going to be soon going over the map right now, as there is just so much firepower pouring from the skies, but the light show has begun as Lunar Snow has begun and taken the first step to the Fate of Both Worlds dance right there. Gonna see Amplifiers dropping out as well. Agamotto in the backline, cancelled! Just when we thought that Agamotto would have gone off, it was cancelled, and not allowing the Strange to put in the work right there. I believe that was an interesting situation. Was that an RP67 copying into a Doctor Strange Agamotto?
I think it might have been. They went in for that, for the wraparound. I don't know, yeah, because Time Mari still has theirs. It must have been. Well, they're going in for the attack here, as Hypebeast will be going for that Omega Hurricane, utilizing that Iron Bulwark onto the backline, and they will find Evocaz and Merc, as Evocaz was taken out of the sky by the flying Eye of Agamotto from Time Mari.
You know what I would love?
Please
Maybe, just so we can keep an eye on it, I would love if Loki did an impression of everybody's ult line if using their ult. That way we could hear Agamotto be called with Loki's accent. That would be exciting, because then we'd know. We'd know.
Only if we get the proper voice actor to do it and not AI like we saw on Reddit. Although that was still cool. But we are paying proper voice actors, please.
Yes, yes. Ain't no AI shoppetry here. We're having a good time with the dancing Fate of Both Worlds. Ooh, into the Agamotto Meteor double KO! Crushes down. Not getting a big pick right there, taking 2 down. Deos Liberos on the back foot right now. Lil Rang is going to be pushing forward on the Ultron, taking him out, pushing the rocket away. We're going to see Magneto cooking it up as well on the front lines, pushing them back, turning up that final corner. Eminence now, they just got to turn it up to the little spot right there. Just go a little bit, a couple steps forward, and they will take it. The question is, Deos going to try to contest it? Yes, they are, with a flash portal into their faces.
Huge pickup for Rag, just tracking Insomniac completely from start to finish there. Has that Rage of Ultron at the ready. Stark Protocol has been abandoned, so they don't have the Fire Hose anymore for that little bit of extra burst healing. The Rage of Ultron, though, certainly doing a pretty solid job. Insomniac is back for a second time, and they're gone for a third time, as they will be the American Hurricane coming on in, though. Cleans up the rest of the members. Rag down to the ground to see if they can get back on the cart, keep it moving, but Rocket and Strange will spot them as we rotate. We're looking at the AIs here. There's one we will maybe accept if they're lucky, and it is Ultron, as they are trying to clean on up Doctor Strange, and they will do so. You know what? Friday and Vision can pass as well. And Jarvis.
And Griot from Wakanda. We'll give that one as well.
Ooh, true. Forgot about that one.
Yep. And shout out, you know, a new one from the new Einhar series, but I won't say who. Keep it down. No spoilers.
I've not seen it yet, so please no.
I'm always safe. I'm always safe with my spoilers. I'm keeping it real. No. Speaking of a spoiler right now is the absolute amazing skin that we're witnessing. Magnus, I feel like the guy's got a spoiler on his back. Look at him. He's looking fancy with the golden ring. But that just means that he's ready and builds up a lot of power into that next hit. But speaking of building up, we already see the Magneto Meteor ready to go. We see Eminence with 5 ultimates online. That's right, Fate of both worlds, the Magneto Meteor, Loki ready to clone it up, and of course the Rage of Ultron, and of course Bluey with the Agamotto. And Kaz is literally on the first step towards that next Kraken impact. Agamotto drops out this time from Bluey, stunning FC Legends and taking out Insomniac. Oh, P67 gets the pick right there. Ryan gets the pick on Hive. Ooh, takes another pick on Ty Harina right there. And that is 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 right there. Eminence all taking 1 pick each as Deos are pushed to the backline as Eminence. And we're going to push one more cheeky corner to get themselves into the 3rd section of Tokyo.
Setting themselves up very nicely here. Here comes the final judgment immediately to the Fate of both worlds for the counter as Insomniac pushing on in to try and shut down Eminence. Looking for an opening. There's a minute and 46 left. Nice sustain there. Insomniac with the extra healing from the bonus help of the Cosmic Yard Amplifier is able to eat that Media M directly to the face. So little Rag has that Rage of Ultron built up, taking a little bit too much damage. Media M from Vashon. Dropped down, but avoided this time by the Fate of both worlds from Orr as they're trying to hold this front line, just trying to hold this at point number 2. Just a meter or 2 to go, but they just can't seem to break the siege. Omega Hurricane is interrupted and forced to retreat here as little Rag sieges from above, but finds nothing here, Liger.
Finding a lot of interesting angles right now is ideal for a Storm. Ooh, enough power taken out. The Ultra from the sky. That's a confidence boost they need right there. They might have enough power to shut down Eminence's push right here. Still a minute on the clock for Eminence. It's okay for them to lose this fight. Trying to burn some ultimates from Deos and come back strong in the next fight. They've got about 2 more fights potentially to try and push this. The question is, do Deos hold it down? Bit of Loki clone ready, amplifiers online soon as well as the final judgment from Insomniac. But Eminence have a Meteor and Agamotto and even a Loki clone building up just as fast.
Insomniac try to ping Rag out of the sky, but taking a lot of damage in exchange themselves. Final judgment coming on out. Are they going to be able to deal with this? They're going hard with the Cosmic Card Amplifier from MC Legends, cloning with the God of Mischief, pushing on in to the background, but they can't find anyone outside of Bluey, who got caught out and melted immediately off the bat. But now they're in full retreat as the counter push is coming on in. RP67 with the extra healing, but now with no defensive ultimates available. Hype moves on in onto Orr, but it's not enough damage here. That Iron Bulwark with the protection.
Ooh, power coming out from the Rage of Ultra right now. Hard to see the action, but you know it's going off right there. We're going to see a bit of a Meteor connecting. Ultron setting up some shields, getting that Lunar Snow forward. Going to see how the dancing holds them off. Bit of an attack boost, knowing that they just need a bit of extra juice to push back. Just what of Eminence right there. Seeing how it all unfolds. The Fate of both worlds going to run out for now. Overtime is ticking off. Dude, Deos have what it takes to shut them down. They do, because the Agamotto gets frozen! Why, Lunar Snow? Kaz getting a shotgun pump action, taking out Tainari. That's going to give him a minute 20 on the clock. That's going to give him a little bit of extra time to try and make it to Deos' capture point at the very end. They took it home. Question is, does Eminence have what it takes to also take it home? They got to go one corner, another ramp, another corner, another ramp, and then another little step, and then they are there. Going to take it off into overtime, but Deos aren't going to make it easy for him, I'll tell you that.
I understand why this Luna has this name now. That is the face that Tainari must be making after having that ultimate interrupted. They're going to try and push on in. They are building it back up as it's put on the 50-second cooldown. Culling turret set up at the top of the stairs for a little bit of an aggressive push. Now RP67 with their own Luna looking for the opening. Drops in with the fade of both worlds. Here comes the counter clone from MC into the Invisible Woman as they've abandoned the rocket. Aya Magamoto comes on out and finally they get onto Evo Kaz and Rang.
Ooh, Maelstrom right there, cleaning house on Kaz right there, putting a punch on the back foot, and some next trying to shred them down. Oh, getting a pick on Bluey right there. Bluey there, how it does, take a pick, turn in, turn, taking one of Insomniac team-ups. What we're going to see now, Insomniac push with the Punisher. 20 seconds left right now. This is officially the final fight for Eminence to get themselves a map win here. Or are Deos going to hold it down?
56 seconds left on Portal, meaning it will not be available. There will be no more reinforcements outside of those that come on foot or fly. Insomniac on the high ground, looking on the flank with that final judgment to try and melt on through. Media M absorbs a lot of it, but they're taking out a lot of the Loki clones to try and push on through. Range of Ultron for the escape as EvoCast is getting isolated from multiple angles, taken down. Omega Hurricane in the backline finds Ultron, and it's a grounding warning. No more flying today. Magneto, Strange, all wiped off the board, and Deos Liberos are holding the line. RP67 tries to make their way onto the point, but they cannot reach.
Taking the lead. Deos Liberos. Strong defense right there. Clean with it. Cold with it. Holding it down on Tokyo. Pushing Eminence away from that victory and allowing them to get themselves some winners momentum and the lead back in this best of 7. That's right, which means they only need 2 more maps to bring it home. Insomniac MVP cooking, I'm telling ya. Punisher matters. It really, really does.
Yes, it does. We saw Groot at the start of the round, and it was ditched real fast when the Punisher started blasting.
Oh, yeah.
17 final hits for Hype Vibs, but 48k damage for Insomniac. Just annihilating everyone in their way. But also, quick shout out to It's Jeff. Oh my god. Only getting taken down 3 times that game. Hyper mobile, and as such, getting one of the highest healing outputs, 45k, but they will be outclassed by, once again, the team that loses gets more healing, 51 and 50k.
Way more healing even with the triple strategist. I feel like at the end of the day, the stats tell the story, and right now they needed a bit more juice, they needed a bit more power. Evo Kaz putting in 26k, but it's nothing compared to the 38, 48k from Hyper and Insomniac. But again, Vashon, I think after that Thing match before, locking back in on the Magneto, getting those consistent meteors, shutting down what could have been big fate of both worlds. And again, of course, the Ultron Lil Rang did put a lot of work in. I feel like maybe the Iron Man needed a little bit more enabling for that to pop off. I do believe it's very hard to see Iron Man do well in MRI and MRC. I feel like it's a bit of a specialist pick. You gotta kind of like, you gotta be really into Iron Man to get value because you gotta be very consistent with it. But especially when Punisher and Hela and Meta and people are playing Storm, it's gonna be tough, very tough to play the Iron Man.
All right, let's get ready to move on into map number 3. Let me get that set up. Will we continue to see the Punisher ban like we started in the first 2 games, or are we going to once again evolve into it returning for a second time and continuing to absolutely dominate? We've seen, this is even without the compositions that we've seen from the majority of the regions, where we've seen a lot of people run it with Cloak and Dagger for the damage boost from Terra Cape, or even, if we're looking at Asia specifically, the Mantis being brought out as a damage boost from Inspire.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But both teams really want that Loki.
Yes.
Is Loki going to make it through again? Invisible Woman might be seen, but a Storm action might be good too. No, we're going to Clinta, Symbiotic Surface, the Converse map. Very excited to finally head to the Symbiotic Surface, Clinta, for a different map. That's right. We're going to see Domination coming in Season 3. It's going to be a fun map, surrounded around, of course, the Phoenix versus Null. It's going to be keen to see Jean Grey hash it out with a bit of Hela, bit of some symbiotes. Who's got symbiotes going? Skullgirl, Jeff, Groot, Storm now. Storm's one's been announced. It's a beautiful skin.
Just so people know, I have put the draft on double speed because we have time constraints with this cast going on right now. So the draft will be a little fast. So immediately, Black Panther is still going to get that respect ban coming out from Deos Liberos.
It's good. It's beautiful.
And there it is, Punisher.
I love
made
this
it in.
Executive One, Emma is banned, Panther is banned, Torch is banned, Wolverine banned. Protecting the Punisher, the Storm, and Luna, and that final protect coming from Eminence is gonna be, that's right, you know it, it's gonna be the Ultron. Lock it in, Metal Man in disguise. And then the final ban coming from Eminence is gonna be interesting. I wonder if we're gonna see that group ban again, but maybe. Rocket, okay, interesting. No amplifier today. No amplifier, no double amplifier, no triple amplifier. That was a bit crazy in that last matchup as well. But we're going to see how it folds as, of course, Deos Liberos ban their final pick. And it's going to be...
Loki has made it all the way through the draft. They're going to take out that Bruce Banner. I went to say doctor, and then I was like, no, he's not a doctor. And then I was like, wait, yes, he is. He is Dr. Banner. He earned that.
He's definitely earned that. Dr. Banner, MD, PhD, 7 PhDs. How many PhDs does the Hulk have? None.
Right.
That's the wise words of Bruce Ruffalo. Right there, doing it up.
Bruce Ruffalo. Oh dear. Alrighty. Well, we're going to be heading on in Deos Liberos on the defense, and they are going with essentially the exact same draft as last time, but they are going to start on that Groot once again. Going to try and go for a little bit of zoning potential, then potentially swap to Strange to come back in for a reinforce. And of course, they do not have the rocket for the damage buff this time, so they're going to be purely relying on the goddess boost of the Storm, and of course that Loki to potentially copy double invisible boundaries. Whereas Eminence, we'll see if this makes it out of spawn, but they are going to try and siege this with Mantis for that inspired damage boost onto a Squirrel Girl.
Ooh, that is powerful. Summertime Squirrel Girl feeling confident in knowing that they can cook up with a Mantis empowering them up. Let's see how it all unfolds. You know, a lot of spam can happen here on this map, especially because the defensive position is just a big cylinder. A lot of the damage just gets circled into the center, directly onto your defensive positions. You can already see Squirrel Girl, it's just pouring down so much damage from afar right there. And Deos are feeling it, especially the group who's taking a lot of that damage just by having that massive hitbox. Let's see how we kick it up into this first fight right now. Pushing forward, Eminence trying to see if they can cook it up right now. We're going to see Insomniac start to shred in the front line. There it is, as we see the Seraphim shields up from Strange right now. Trying to block that damage. Sets up a tower blind Insomniac. Going to shred them down range. Down there you go. Pushing forward as much as power as they can. Eminence are going to try and land those shots. And Insomniac's going to lose that tower for now, as we see ults are building up.
The Mantis has been abandoned into the more standard Lunar Snow, so they can make sure they build that ult charge. So the damage boost was just for the initial rollout there. Going in for that Squirrel Guard for a little bit of protection as they move on in with the Fate of Both Worlds. And the unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami is gone.
Squirrel Tsunami starts and winds up and tries to put the damage down. A big strangling prison from the Groot. Tainari right there putting forward a lot of pressure into them, forcing Lunar Snow to drop the Fate of Both Worlds to give us a stay. There it is, but the final judgment is winding up from Insomniac now, trying to get an angle, trying to get the shots and go shredded directly into Magneto. Take it out, Merc right there. Lurang as well falls, and Vashon taking out the Strange. That's going to be enough juice in the tank to push down Eminence's chances of capturing on that first fight, which is a very long fight, I might add, Tetcher, but you know, 2 minutes 20 on the clock, still got half their time bank to work with here.
But they've burned through a pretty large chunk of it here. They will still have Portal as a potential, as you can see Bluey on that Doctor Strange. Could go for an opening and a little rag. Still on this Punisher sieging in. They have abandoned the Squirrel Girl and are going in just for as maximum damage as possible to once again burn through these Groot walls that are just so hard to deal with.
Alrighty, right there as we wind it up with the American Omega Hurricane.
If it was American, it would have more nukes in it.
Hold on, man. Captain America team up with Storm? Am I calling it? I might be calling it.
Oh,
the Freedom Hurricane charge? Ooh.
It's
I'll
just
take that
shield.
combination of team up.
It's just got a shield in it. It just bounces around.
The shields are just in the hurricane. Oh my days! Wait, that would be insanely powerful. Just throw the shield in the hurricane, and just Captain America just throws hands the whole fight. No shield with him.
I forgot. Yeah, he'd have no shield. It's in the hurricane now. Oh my god! Yes, actually, I want that. That's super fun.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, hey, if we get that Captain America Thor team up again, can Bro just pick up the hammer? Let's be real.
Right.
It's time.
Let them swap.
Let him borrow. Yeah, give Thor the shield. Let him like like right on it, like a snowboard,
Ooh, that'd be
something
fun.
like that. Thundery snowboard. But speaking of a thunderous moment right now, we're going to see the final judgment coming from the Punisher, shredding forward, taking out one Tetsu. That's the Groot, and Loki being taken out by the shredding power right there. Bucky's going to try to line up some shots right here. It's going to be a tough one to see how it unfolds. Kraken Impact ready. Tetcher, tell me what's going on here.
Kraken Impact absolutely annihilating there, utilizing the final judgment and the Kraken Impact. Tainari not even going to bother attempting to portal back. They know it's not enough time. That was just overwhelming damage, utilizing a great setup to make sure that there was no way that that group could escape. As such, Vashon has had to swap over to the Magneto to make sure that they have a more defensive setup, because they just got obliterated in that fight.
Obliterated for a reason to happen right there. Hype ticking out. Ooh, Marvel feeling the pain right there. Merc's not feeling good right there. And they're taking down Tainari, feeling confident on taking on Bluey right there. Pushing him back. Interesting to see. Tetcher, I think this is a bit of a strong defensive position for Deos Liberos right now. Again, Eminence, they got 2 minutes left. I don't know how this is going to turn out for them, because ultimately you need a lot more time to work with, especially on this second choke of Clinter.
Yeah.
You've got a couple corners to turn, I believe 1, 2, 3 corners to turn, and there's high ground also around it. It's very hard to try and set up momentum on this one especially.
Tainari does have that portal. Even if they do get taken out, it's a very long walk, but they might not even need to worry about it if they can just teleport back in. It comes the invisible boundary coming in from MC Legends, utilizing that clone with the Goddess of Mischief. Never mind, down it goes. RB67 with the fate of both ones, going to mirror that themselves. It's Jeff, had to invisible boundary as well. Overlap, both strategist ultimates are gone for Deos Liberos, and we talked about how much time Eminence have. It doesn't matter if there's no one alive to defend.
No way right there. That's exactly what you want to see, because the Storm almost got the Punisher, but Blue is there to keep him backed up and keep him healthy and keep him confident. We're going to see finally that momentum Eminence has been pushing forward, getting past that first corner for now, as we're going to see Deos maybe switch it up a little bit, change up the composition. Meteor's ready. Oh, wake up everybody. A portal is being called. Pentagram of Ferrara. Here we go.
Going up to the high ground so they can wrap around from behind. Ayamagamoto to try and shut them down through the engagement. Immediately blocked out the separate barrier. Counter into the backline, and the strategists are absolutely deleted. Down goes Strange, though. Eminence is still going to try and contest this, but Evil Cavs, they are taken down with the Meteor M, and that's going to be the entirety of Eminence wiped off the board. Strange is even juggled a little bit to make sure that they're staggered from the rest of their team. Now, with 38 seconds left, there is, I believe, a portal available for Bluey. Yes, there is. So they're going to have one last chance at a refight. They're going to try on foot. Again, it's what we've seen before, where teams will try on foot first before attempting the portal. But now with Strange in the fight, who can swap to Strange? No one. So this is their last chance. They're committing to this, making their way on foot.
This is literally it. 15 seconds left to make it happen right now. They do have Final Judgment ready to fly. They got a Loki Ultimate ready to build up just as well soon enough. We're going to see Magneto Meteor going to be following soon. 90% to charge. Little Rang lands some shots. Trying to get down the Magneto shield. Trying to shred through those resources nice and early, so that we can see that Final Judgment fly forward. And we're going to see it. There it is right now as it winds up. Get a gunning down, and the other Punisher. That's right, this time it's Somniac's going to bring the Final Judgment as well into the Lunar Snow. The fate of both was a cool there, but again a hurricane coming from Hype right now. Shredder one, Shredder Tice, bringing us on, taking one, taking forward, pushing it down, but he's going to get hooked out by the Bucky right there. Stop her momentum, stop her power. Luna's dancing. A meteor rises through the sky and it crashes down. Unfortunately, no connection, but Star-Lord is going to get some picks back. We've been out of the Agamotto. The Agamotto is stunning out 3, 2, 1 of them, and it's going to be enough powerhouse for the squad right there. Overtime sticking out. Does Eminence have the chance to contest? And it's done and dusted with a strong defense from Deos Liberos.
Very beautiful hold there. They were able to just go for the traded Final Judgments. And this is the one time where a triple duelist composition can really come to bear in these overtime situations, where you know that your opponents have 2 strategist ultimates and you have 3 aggressive ones. And that's exactly what we saw. Final Judgment traded out into a fate of both worlds. Storm going to be utilizing the Omega Hurricane. What do? You have to drop the second strategist ultimate to make sure you can defend through that. What happens after that? A Galactic Legend, shutting down the push and preventing anyone from sustaining through that fight. Beautifully done.
Not just any legend. a galactic legend. Why? Because he's from the Guardians of the Galaxy. You gotta represent, you know. You gotta come out flashy, you know. You gotta have some fancy names for your abilities, you know. That's what I love about Marvel. Everybody's just got that extra bit of pizzazz, just a little bit of oomph, you know, behind them, right? We could say, oh, Portal. He's like, no, it's the pentagram of Ferala. He's like, ooh, my man's casting spells out here. We got Star-Lord trying to be a galactic legend. They got Luna. Luna's like, I dance. Oh, what is it called? It's the fate of both worlds. Like, hey, yo, why your dance moves such? So why do they have such high stakes to your dance moves, Luna? What's going on? Why fate of what worlds, bro? I know we got the multiverse. Why'd you pick only 2 worlds? Why isn't the fate of all worlds? Wait, what 2 worlds, Luna? Tell us which 2 worlds you're referencing. I want to know.
I was literally talking to my partner about how the name differences, Jesus, what a rollout so fast. The name differences between the 2 teams, between when you have someone on your team compared to when they're on the enemy team. Like, the thing, let's be honest, it's clobbering time, Aura. It's my favorite time, definitely not Aura.
No. I honestly feel like a lot of the voice lines should be switched up a bit. But you know, we'll see how it unfolds. You know, maybe they might make changes with the voice lines in future updates. We'll see. I mean, you are nothing. Kind of hits hard from Jean Grey.
Oh, hell
have we
yeah,
heard what the friendly version of that is yet?
I don't think we have yet.
Curious to see. I will say though, it's funnily enough that you are nothing when the only person that hard counters Phoenix is literally the thing, who is something. Literally, man can literally jump into that Phoenix, tank it, and be like, all right, hit me again. Run it back. Run these hands, because that's what a thing will do. And speaking of running these hands, we're going to see Tainari on the Star-Lord absolutely chasing them down. Vashon is going to get the double pick on Magneto right there. Going to be leading into Strange right now, trying to land the Eldritch Whip right there just to get a bit of AoE damage presentation. Building up a Maelstrom, popping the Maelstrom to get some sustained back. Tainari is going to get the Loki out of here. We're going to see the Cloak and Dagger. Nice to see Cloak and Dagger. It's been a little bit of a minute. Actually, that's 2 Eternal Bonds dropping down this time. I believe it's a Loki clone, a little cheeky one at that. And it looks like Deos Liberos are going to be capping it with a few percentage left to go. Actually, hold on a second. I think Eminence might have their number for a bit, and I might have hold it with just a bare millimeter left for capture. Just when you thought they got 3 ticks, they barely had it, and Eminence are going to push them back for now. Buy themselves some more time on the clock right now. 2 minutes left. Deos Liberos, though, have 5 ultimates online.
Classic caster curse there. It looks like they got it. They immediately start retreating. It happens literally every time to every caster. We just are cursed to always be proved wrong at any opportunity. Final judgments from both sides trying to match it to Merc on the Punisher this time, as they have been on the Magneto for the majority of these games, but they are getting value melding on through Vashon.
That is power right there from Eminence right there. Strong defensive positions right there. I will mention though that Deos Liberos managed to pour out 1, 2, 3 ultimates, maybe even 4, just to shut down what is about 4 from Eminence as well. So 4 for 4 on the ultimate train right there. Luna Snow Fate of both worlds is ready to go. Both duelist ultimates are ready from Deos Liberos. It's all a matter of getting the right pick at the right time and trying to bait out that Fate of both worlds.
Tainari continuing to just harass on the backside. Oh, surprise Punisher! Just popping in out of nowhere. Merc gonna zone them away. Keep the pressure on, and that will be enough to take down Tainari. So now, numbers advantage for Eminence. They might be able to hold this even longer with only a minute left to go already. Merc might be having a little bit of a connection in this game as they were teleporting around a little bit. That or it's mine. Again, this replay is kind of on the other side of the world, along with my co-caster here.
There it is right now. Insomniac with the final judgment ready to go, ready to fly, ready to pull the divide. It looks like they're going to be starting to capture up again. They only need to get 1 tick. Last judgment's going to be there to sustain them down. They're going to see the Fate of both worlds at this time running away from them right now. Shutting down what could potentially be a lot of damage. We're going to see both Fate of the both worlds drop. We're going to see Loki joining the fight. Start dancing as well. Insomniac does manage to push through that damage, getting a double KO, getting a triple KO. Insomniac on the Punisher. Capturing him out hype right there, taking away Lil Rank, who's on the sidelines trying to distract a little bit. Luna's going to dance her final steps, and it's going to be a clean capture from Deos Liberos this time. No caster curse here today. They definitely get it. They definitely get some minutes on the clock. They only got to push a corner and a half right now, Tetcher. Just a corner and a half to get themselves this map victory. Can they do it? I don't know. Eminence kind of do hold it down a little bit and see how it unfolds, eh?
Nice defense there by Hype, who was looking for a wraparound. They were also the one who was able to take down Lil Rag, who did have that Eternal Bond, which would have bought a little bit of extra time on the objective, but sniping them means that no defensive abilities will be used. What a shot from Hype Vibs, taking down RP67. Now they're going to be disengaging a little bit, as once again, Dr. Strange trying to push on in. Merc sustained on through, as finally that Eternal Bond will come on out, as EvoCaz is on the hunt for blood.
Oh, on the hunt, ready to
Money
run,
box!
and there it is.
No!
Oh my days, a Loki clone denying the Agamotto from Evo Kaz right there. Unfortunate spacing, unfortunate timing. Hype's gonna be pushing forward. Oh, there's barely a few meters left. Eminence have a low HP magnet. Hello with the sacrifice! Hype, you legend, absolutely taking it, keeping the team alive, saying, go on without me, get this victory. And Insomniac's gonna return the favor by bringing out a final judgment of their own, trying to get revenge for the Hello right now, shredding through the dance, shredding through the Lunas. The Lunas are there to heal them up, but we're gonna see Mark this time bring the final judgment and take it out Insomniacs, who was trying to wind it up themselves. It looks like Eminence are going to be able to capture it back, stop the momentum from Deos Liberos. It's going to be a tough one going forward. We got a minute left on the clock. Do Deos have what it takes to push it just a bare few 10 or so meters? Eminence holding it down, but no ultimates online, only close to the Agamotto with a couple more fights. Will it be enough?
Agamotto interrupted again, but now Hype Vibs is the only ultimate along with Lil Rag left in the game. Goddess of Death will finally come out, and it's revenge on Loki, taking them down. The siege from above. The goddess has risen, and so have the chances of Deos Liberos from taking game number 4. They are now 1 game away from being marked as your Pacific Console champions, if they can close this out.
Pacific Console Champions, that is a title and a half right there. We'd love to see it, but it hasn't been claimed yet. 1 map potentially away for Deos. Or maybe we go to the length of the best of 7. A potential reverse sweep from Eminence. Anything can happen out here in Marvel Rivals, especially in the console region, especially in the Pacific region. It's chaotic. It's untold stories are told down here. It's too much. There's too many unknown variables down here, but I love it. That's how we Pacific roll. It's good to go. Let's give a bit of love, a bit of respect to Insomniac on the Punisher. Yet again, so consistent with the MVP, so consistent with the damage. 40k this time on the statistical analysis right there. 34k healing from Mr. MC Legends on the low key. Putting in the work, blocking some damage as well. 6k. Speaking of damage block, we're talking Vashon right there. Vashon hitting the 45k. Damage blocked. Final hits 15 from Hype. Honestly, no, I expect nothing less. Hype was cooking. But on the other side, Tetcher, we had still our showing force from Eminence right there. As you said, triple strategist right now. It's just not working. They need a little bit more juice. I'm wondering if they're going to switch it up.
I like that they adjusted triple strategist. I love Ultron, don't get me wrong. I feel like you don't... this is going to feel horrible to say. I feel like you don't need Cloak and Dagger and Luna. Both of them are so good. They're so insanely good. But if you have Cloak and Dagger, you have already one of the best defensive ultimates. Loki is still fantastic to keep, but at that point, you should probably swap to like an Ultron or something like that to maximize damage. You did protect it. I feel like that extra damage could have made up the difference if you still wanted to stick with this triple strategist setup. You can look at the healing numbers. Little Rag, of course, swapped later in the fight. As such, the healing numbers are lower. But in this case... I feel like maybe you need to adjust. You don't need both and Loki. It's just not enough juice, as you said.
Yeah, well, let's see how it all unfolds. And what could potentially be the last map, we don't know. Curious to see how it unfolds. If the momentum persists, yeah, it's gonna be the dub for the blue squad. That is gonna be a dub for Insomniac and Hype and MC Legends. It's Jeff. Insomniac's gonna be there with the Vashon, with the Tainari. If they take this dub, however, don't want to sleep on EvoCaz, Bluey, Merc, RP67, Lil Rang, and I tried to say that name again. I had to end with that one. Keen to see how it all unfolds. If this is potentially the last map, I will say it is pretty grand because we are on Yggdrasil convoy. Yggdrasil. Actually, I've been correcting myself on pronunciation in the Marvel lore. It's actually Yggdrasil, and the messenger, the convoy on the Dracula Castle map is Ratatoskr. Did you know that one? Ratatoskr.
That one I had no idea about. I knew Yggdrasil, but I had no idea about... How do you pronounce it? Ratatoskr? No, I'm going to botch that one immediately.
It's like Ratato.
Ratato.
No, sorry. No, it's Rata, Rata, and then Tosker, like Oscar, but with a T at the start. So Rata Tosca.
Vata Tosca.
Rata Tosca. Yeah,
Ah.
that's it. Rata Tosca. All right, and then I believe. Oh, let me see if I can remember this one. The Wakandan map, the Wakandan Empire. I believe the J is a Y. No, sorry, no, it's not. Jalia. It's actually a silent D. It's Hall of Jalia. It's not Hall of Dialia, it's Hall of Jalia. The D is silent.
I have been unintentionally doing that one correctly because I did not Google it. I just guessed.
Yeah, the D is silent. I thought the J was a Y because I was using the Norse language in my brain. I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense because we know Wakandan law is inspired by South African law and language. So now we use those properties, those language barriers, and we learn from that. Language barriers? Sorry, we break down those language barriers, I should say, and we unfold. But Midtown, I don't know, sometimes Midtown, Hightown, Lowtown, it can have different names. We pronounce it however we want, I'll tell you that. What I do know about Midtown is it starts at Avengers Tower and it ends at the Baxter Building. And that is a beautiful reference to
I thought it was the other way around.
Avengers
I thought it
Home
starts
Base
at the Baxter Building because you start at the Fantastic Four and then you go to Avengers Tower, which is why the V for Vampire flips to an A at the end of the map.
You're right, actually, yeah. You actually corrected me. Correct me.
And you go through the Fisk building, which for some reason is connected to the underground.
Yeah, that's right. We start at the Avengers base. Oh, what's in the Avengers base? There's a hologram statue of the Fantastic Four. Yeah, that sounds right? Anyways, let me recap a bit what we missed in the bands. Panther's banned, Visible banned, Hulk is banned again, a skip ban from Eminence this time, Punisher banned, Storm banned, and the Protects we're going to see Emma protected. Finally, we're going to see the White Queen.
Wow.
Bucky's also protected. Hela and Wolverine, my goodness. Oh my days. Look at those Lord icons. Woo!
So many Lord icons.
That's a lot of Lord icons. I was having a chat with my fellow OC MRC, Pacific MRC casters. I don't know if you also had the chat with the EMEA casters. Do you like seeing the Lord icons? It's kind of refreshing because we don't see that in MRI.
Yeah, because they're on the tournament server, so everything is just sort of removed. Everything is neutral. So, yeah, no, I very much enjoy it. I just realized we're still in type 2 speed. There we go. Back to normal.
Yeah, but that's the Loki gameplay. We can play it 2 times. Hell yeah. Give me that Loki gameplay. I'll play that in live.
Go!
I'm down for that.
Go, Loki, go! There we go. All right, back to normal.
Fast.
We can also
Quicksilver,
go half
are you out here yet? That'll be Quicksilver. Quicksilver can manually speed up the game for you and only you. That's what we need. New hero coming soon.
I'd love to see that.
Actually,
I
genuinely.
want Quicksilver and I want Ant-Man.
Yes, Ant-Man. Please, Vanguard.
Yes,
Please.
100%. The ability to go big, of course, for like big Vanguard, but the ability to start small, get big, and knock people up as you like uppercut them from small to big.
No, I want Ant-Man to be the tiniest character in the game, but the tankiest Vanguard.
Just the most helpful. Oh god, Magneto, no!
Alright, let's log back into the action right now. Magneto being picked up by Hype right there. Insomniac absolutely rolling up a storm on the Wolverine. We're going to see a bit of a resurrection from the BRB. Coming back, bringing Magneto into the fight, into the action. Wolverine slashing and dashing forward. This is insane, honestly, Tetcher. Wolverine's so strong. And getting buffed again in Season 3? You kidding me?
That
This
was
character
a
is
choice.
busted.
Push comes on in. EvoCast trying to melt on through, but it's enough to take down Insomniac as Eminence are putting on some hell pressure right now. Here comes the push with the Cosmic Guard Amplifier for the extra damage. In the meantime, Jeff is just flanking in the backline. Nice Dark Force teleport to avoid the Bionic Hood. Doing a little bit of damage. Last stand from the side of EvoCast, but it's not enough to get the finishing blows as we are seeing Deos Liberos tanking on through, but they're just so too far away.
Oh, there it is right there. Pushing power from Eminence. It's going to be hard for them. It's going to be a hard one, but Deos Liberos going to regroup for now. Not get picked off. Losing a bit of their high ground early because, again, RP67 on the Loki. I play Loki on this map too. One of my personal favorite Loki maps. Why? So much destroyable terrain for you. I mean, it's literally Loki's home ground. Such dominant positions. There are literally pillars everywhere with protective pylons. I know you caught that reference.
I did.
We love that word, pylon. Now, those positions are definitely going to be able to protect your clones. And even if you time the positioning correctly, you might be able to get them in a position where the map will reform and protect them. It's crazy. You pull that off on Loki, ooh, you're going to have positions that are unrivaled.
Tainari on the flank, on the torch, taking out the Loki there, as both Lokis, in fact, both teams go down, but MC Legends will be returning. In fact, both of them returning, and the BRB completely mirrored as the Psionic Seduction from Vashon to push on in to try and catch someone out of position, trying to get onto the Magneto, who heads up into the air with that Meteor M, which is going to block a lot of the damage from behind, who is trying to siege in with the Goddess of Death, barely standing, finding it taken down and blown up by Bluey.
Absolute denial of the Hella. Getting value right there. That's just Magneto. Magneto can just... when it comes to Punisher, when it comes to Star-Lord, when it comes to even Iron Man, you name it, Hella, ain't no duelist getting that ult off. Except this guy right here, who is literally farming them up right now. So much power coming from Insomniac's Wolverine. Even though they're literally on the back foot in a 1v6.
Help.
They seem to be winning. Oh, not anymore, but they were winning for quite a while. They were holding it down.
Bought a lot of time is what they did. A couple extra seconds on the point because they need that, considering how fast Eminence are going this time. It's like a completely different team. Eminence on 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to push on in towards that point number 3. They're speed running this. And Deos Liberos, they're swapping to duelists. Even more to come on in here is the Iron Man to try and ping at them from above. Double the flyers, double the fun.
Double the action. Let's double up on these pulsar cannons right now. We're going to launch some missiles. We're going to work it up. We're going to see maybe Jarvis is going to coordinate the absolute maximum pulse. Get ready to clip that. Loki runes are down. A good opportunity now to go active, go fire it up. You got a torch in the sky. You can enable that too. Supernova will be there online. Wolverines are ready to go, ready to jump, trying to go direct for the Iron Man, keeping it on the high ground right now. Wolverine going to shut down the BRB. Lil Rang going to get the pick on Vashon, taking out a Vanguard. We're going to see Iron Man get the reset off from the Winter Soldier. Not enough to get taken down for now. They're going to hit the Unibeam on the Wolverine, who's going to get away. And there it is, maximum pulse. Direct impact on the 2 cast, taking out the Wolverine. And Lil Rang doesn't return the favor, taking him out, but they're back from a BRB beacon. Simpsy this time bringing back their Wolverine. Both people getting brought back by the beacon, Tetcher. The Rocket Raccoon's getting value.
But the beacon was destroyed. They weren't able to be brought back on that Iron Man. They had to swap off immediately, as they will make their way back in on foot. And as such, hype on the Magneto, pushing up for a little bit of extra aggression. They have been able to drive back Eminence, but that car is very far forward with 3 whole minutes to go. This is still Eminence's game to lose at this point.
Ooh, tough outcomes can arise from here. Momentum has stopped for Eminence right now. Deos Liberos kind of have a bit of a hold right here, and Vashon is on the Emma. Sonic Seduction actually triggering and hitting 3 of them right now. Bringing the Vanguards forward. That's right, there it is. That's going to be Muck. That's going to be Louis. That's going to be Vashon pushing forward. See how it all pushes forward. They're going to see Emma going in, trying to enable that, but it's a bit of a tough angle. Somniac has the last stand ready to fly. We're going to see take down the beacon. Oh, get caught up with the last stand this time from Avocaz, actually trying to shut them down from taking out the amplifier right here. Berserk mode is at 100. Could get spicy, could get dicey, and it could definitely get slicey when you're dealing with Wolverine right here. Human Torch is going to be burning up right now. There's going to be taken up to the skies. An amplifier. Magneto Meteor is charging up. Will it crush down and impact on anybody right now? Supernova winds up from Tainari right there, as we're going to see burning tornadoes. The pirate prisons are being set up. The fire slam to try to get back to business, to try to get some heals. Sonic Seduction is kicking off, aiming directly at the ammo. We're going to see Seduction try to shut down the pressure coming from Deos Liberos, and we're going to see the torch met in the skies. Oh, it's going to be a tough one right now by Tetcher. It looks like a tough fight. Ultimate's going back and forth right now, but a pick has not happened until this meteor lands. Will it connect?
Beautiful sidestep, crack and impact. Gets reset number 1. This is Eminence looking to try and close this out. Grabbing reset after reset. The Lokis are just feeding Rang at this point, as they're going to make their way in for the triple cap. Rocket for the delay. Cosmic Yard Amplifier. It's wiped off the board, but they bought a bit of extra time as the thing has returned. It's all hands on deck. We talked about on Araco. This is one of the other maps where it's so hard to push in for the final point here. Giving every second they can. Vashon just haymaker after haymaker. 50 bonus health, 50 bonus health. Buy as much time as you can so your team can come back.
Never missing a haymaker is key on the thing right now. Never missing a slam. Getting them up, tossing them around, and then you're going to see 4.38 meters left to go. Eminence might be able to capture this back, and it looks like 3, 2, 1 ticks down. Hype will not be able to make it, and it's going to be a clean capture by Eminence right there. put them in a tough situation using almost all of the time bank. 44 seconds still in their bank. But now it's on Deos. And Deos gotta bring it home. They're going to get the pace faster. They did it last map. The question is, can they do it again? Let's see how these picks roll out. We're going to see Magnetos and Emmas once again. Rocket Raccoon, very pivotal pick there. Amplifier is definitely changing the type, but the Wolverine mirror might still be available. Let's see how it unfolds.
Now, Wolverine Mirror has done a lot of work for these teams. I'm honestly amazed we haven't seen more of the Wolverine so far in this matchup, where these teams have been attempting to set up and go hyper-aggressive. Again, time constraints. Sorry about the extra fast for everybody. We just need to make sure that we get this game done in time. But yeah, we're seeing Deos Liberos. They're bringing back the Hella as Hypervims will finally be swapping off of that second Vanguard. They're going to go once again for a triple strategist setup. Deos Liberos, they're going for a little bit of extra beef on their own side, but I don't think that will make it all the way through. I think Tainari will probably swap off of the Rocket once everyone's got a little bit of armor. That's exactly what we see.
A little bit of armor, a little bit of action. That's how we want to see it right now. Tainari pushing forward on Magneto. There it is. There it is. What do we think, Tetcher? How is this first fight going to unfold?
So it depends if Insomniac can get the isolation here. If they have that jump pack, if they can grab someone out of position, then I think Deos Liberos can get a lot of momentum and get an early push. It's going to be the same for EvoCats, who also has that jump pack, trying to get onto the Magneto, taking them all the way, sending them into another zip code. Melts on through them, isolated completely, and yet somehow Tainari survived all that time, but that might just be considered a stagger. Insomniac was not able to get them, was able to help get Blue. So it's just going to be a 1-for-1. Both the Magnetos taken down, but the difference is Tainari did not have that BRB to bring them back. As such, Deos Liberos, they still got an isolation, meaning they still get the momentum, but their spawn point is a lot closer, so they can keep it even at least for this stage.
That is exactly what you want right there. Bulwark setting up on the Wolverine, giving him sustain, giving him that momentum to move forward unchecked. There it is right now. Mr. MC Legends with the Lunar Snow dancing away. Giving him sustain, giving them power. Amplifier is going to meet and match that this time from Boys right there. Oh, wait a minute. Kraken Impact has wound up and launched his first shot, but it doesn't look like a reset. It's going to be enabled right there. Bit of an unfortunate play from Rang right there, but just going to be met from Vashon on the Sonic seduction from Emma Frost right here, pulling them forward, bringing them around. Then the Magneto Meteor crushes down and takes out. It's Jeff OMG, the Lunar Snow met by a Meteor. It's just too consistent, Tetch. Honestly, we got to get a timer and a counter in these maps for how many times these Meteors are landed on Lunar Snows, because I feel like she's got to be taken out almost by, I would say, 70% of the Meteors we see at MRC.
It's 100% the targeting. You need something that can burst through that Lunar Snow ultimate. There are very few tools that can do that. A fully charged Meteor M, of course, can do it. A Invincible Pulse Cannon can do it. Bluey, giving them a little bit of the old razzle-dazzle, able to escape with the cologne there. Nicely done with that Emma Frost team-up.
That team up, so much value. Illusionary Mastery right there. It's clean, it's cold, and it can do a lot of value for a Magneto. It doesn't have too much momentum, doesn't have too much movement abilities, but, you know, a bit of a dance, a bit of expectations turn. We can see the action now as Wolverine is slashing forward. Last stand available online, ready to go into this next fire. Bucky's winding it up, ready for the Kraken Impact. Both Bucky's, I should mention right now. Keep your eyes on Hype and Rank. Let's see how the first Amplify connects with the Galactic Legend from Style in the Sky right now. Tainari absolutely shredding, trying to get through all that damage. Hype gets a pick on CB's right there. Up P67 falls as well. The strategist line of fire minutes are taken now. And there is a one quadruple kill by Insomniac on the Wolverine. I just didn't even see that. The last stand, the final stand, and a big quadruple kill for Insomniac right there. Getting themselves a clean cut push past the first gate. My goodness, Tetcher. That was a flash and a half how fast that was.
They needed that so bad. Like you said, they just wrapped around capitalizing on the Kraken Impact for a little bit of setup damage, which is kind of the opposite of what it usually is. Currently going to be waiting for a little bit of a jump pack. Oh, and he almost didn't notice. Uh-oh, Wolverine. Uh-oh, EvoCaz trying to sail away, tracked down. But EvoCaz will be able to get away barely. But that's exactly what they tried to do there. Just make sure they could get the blow. But they needed that because they got 50 seconds extra on the clock there due to how quickly they were able to get that team wipe. And that means that Deos Liberos, after being held for so long on point one, are starting to re-earn that time that they lost. Insomniac, Bionic Hook pulling them in, but they're able to escape a Silent Seduction comes on out looking for the counter pickup, trying to pull in Bluey, but the shields are too good. Counter on, coming in from Merc. They're trying to get onto them, just burst through them damage-wise with the diamond form.
The diamond form hammer arm is lethal. That melee is so strong, it's so powerful, can absolutely shut things down.
Oh
Oh, double
God.
KO from Hype right there. Take him down, get a run on the last pick right there. This is the moment right here. Do Eminence have any chance of even trying to stop this push? Curious again, was the Strange banned? Is Strange available for these teams to play? Curious to remember.
Strange is not
Don't
bad.
believe it is banned. So it could be played if they need to get to the point in a dire-ditch effort. But I feel like these teams aren't bringing out the Strange this map. Magneto Meteor charging up and it crushes down, only taking about half of the HP of the Wolverine. Not enough to enable a pick right there, but the game is the game. Gonna see a Rocket Raccoon clone be arriving on the side, dropping an amplifier right now, dropping a res beacon, knowing it's 2 beacons. Will it be enough for them? Will it be the power they need? Will it be the source they need? Tetcher, how is this unfolding? Because the Wolverine's already in the backline.
Insomniac, every time I look away from them, there's just someone getting turned into an absolute blender, into the classic hero chili, as Insomniac trying to track down EvoKaz, who has had to go the long way around. At this point, you should just walk off the map to get back to your team in time, because you are so far on the flank right now. Oh, they've been found! The duel begins between the Wolverines, Weapon X versus Weapon X, trying to chase them down. EvoKaz is on the run, but guess who's in between you and your teammate? The entire enemy team! But they are getting away. EvoKaz on the run through the doorway, wrapping around, taking cover. They're going to get the healing and they're going to try and take that duel. I cannot believe they made it out of there.
And out through sheer force of will to survive, as a Wolverine would and should do. That's exactly what you want. The presence right there. Amplifier's been building up right now. It's going to be launched off by Boys right there. It's going to be a different one to see how the Star Lord enables, how the Star Lord performs. Kraken Impact ready to roll, but we see the Rocket Raccoon from Jeff this time. Their absolute team up is also shut down and out. There's not going to be that massive beacon, but we're going to see them bring them back with the BRB beacon, I should say. A massive Sonic seduction from Special, just to try and zone him out, just give a bit of space, goes for the choke slam onto the Emma, once again clapping and slapping, taking out the Emma. Merc getting shut down, Bluey as well. There go the Vanguards, there's the pushing power they need. Deos Liberos feeling confident right now, having the momentum, having the juice, having the power, knowing that Eminence have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, meanwhile, honestly, potentially all 6 ultimates in this, what could be final defensive opportunity for them. They gotta hold it here.
That car is moving forward. There's not many people on the board. Finally, everyone's going to start to make it. Here comes the Cosmic Guard amplifiers from both sides for the contestant. Hype going to try and target it down, but needs to get some damage onto the characters as well. Wolverine from the flag. Lil Rag taken out. Last stand to try and melt on through. But Tainari is able to get away. They just can't get the finishing blows, and the cart is still being contested. It still creeps forward. Evan's going to try and hold this, as Merc might be the only saving grace here. Silent Seduction, which also gives them crowd control immunity, so they can try and contest this, taking down the regeneration domains onto Insomniac. But they get melted. They're running out of bodies, Liger.
Running out of oh!
That's it.
Wait, no one was contesting that. I feel like I thought a couple people there, but no.
There were some Loki clones.
They cap it. They cap it, you know. Oh, look, now we're in overtime. Both teams got about a minute to go. Eminence versus Deos Liberos. This is your final chance to push for this chance. If Eminence lose this, they don't get the dub. And we see Deos Liberos going forward. That's going to be interesting to see.
They're sticking with, so far, the exact same strategy. Well, that's different, but that might just be for rollout here. They are on attack, meaning that they will get value out of that extra armor, getting the 50 bonus armor from the Penny team up as opposed to the 25 that you would just get from the standard Battle Rebirth Beacon. I doubt this will make it out of Spawn. We have seen a little bit of aggressive Penny out of teams like Dusty, but it's not exactly very common.
Not too common, and nor is it commonly executed perfectly. Right now, for now, we're going to see the 1, 2, 3, that's right, triple duel strategy from Deos Liberos going forward, as Eminence are only going to also have, the 1, 2, 3 as well. Yeah, 3 duels ready to fly. Interesting compositions going forward. Merc's going to be landing shots on Hella. Let's see how it goes off. Deos Liberos have 40 seconds left to push, and overtime will be achieved and locked in.
EvoCaz are looking for anyone, looking for wraparound opportunities. If they can get that Star-Lord, that would be fantastic. Emma would also be acceptable. Back you go! Is the Hellfire Club in here? You will never know. You're going back to spawn as they take them down completely, and EvoCaz getting such an important pickup with Deos Liberos only having 17 seconds left. Any stagger you can get is important. Tainari goes down as well.
There it goes right now. Wolverine shredding and pushing it forward right now. Feeling the confidence, feeling the power, feeling the fury, feeling the rage, feeling everything you need to know when you're going through Wolverine, and you're going to feel the pain right now as they're going to be taken down. EvoCaz, however, he's going to be brought back by the BRB, and we're going to see the action go crackening right now as we see Rang pushing forward, trying to get a assist, but it's actually Hype who's going to bring the Kraken impact right now. Getting themselves forward, pushing forward. Loki's going to be taken down by Vashon right there. We're going to take down the Beacon with a bit of shots as well, and we're going to see the overtime who's kicking in. Ooh, a bit of an unfortunate position for Bluey right there. Absolutely kidnapped by the Wolverine and put out of position right there. Overtime's ticking down. Eminence are going to have a tough time trying to contest this here as Deos Liberos make it past first gate. No, a last second portal. My goodness. It's still in the fight.
Held at 84 centimeters. They're going to try and turn this round with the Cosmic Yard Amplifier on the clone. Eminence are committing everything to this defense. Tainari and Murg are both down. Last stand onto Rocket, but into a regeneration domain, like a waiting basket, as they are cleaning up as best as they can, but they just can't find the finishing blow. Even Hype drops to single digits, but still tanks on through. They turn it around. Insomniac takes out RB67, and now it's down to Emma, the last beefy body on the board. Gets the Carbon Crush onto Vibes, takes them down. Tainari, Portal, reinforcements, and also trying to block off reinforcements from Eminence by portaling in the doorway. Very nice play, but there's no time left on overtime. If Rang can clear him up here with the Kraken impacts, then this is all over for this round. They'll have to see who takes it on the swamp. The doorway is holding strong as the bodies of Deos Liberos are starting to trickle down one by one. Vashon with the Venom to try and rush in time, but they cannot reach.
Ooh, tough defense incoming right now. Strong Eminence right there, holding it down just before the first gate opened. That's got to be a great feeling right there. That is going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. Let's see how Deos Liberos go forward. Let's see how Eminence go forward. It's an interesting one.
We see so much pressure right now being put. With the Lokis in the game, the Winter Soldiers are kind of the only thing keeping both these teams in it. Getting these Kraken impacts for the resets, being able to turn the game on its head like that has been huge. Lil Rang and Hype have been the key characters for their teams, along with these Lokis, MC Legends, and the side of, well, currently no one for Eminence as they have abandoned their Loki, but it's likely going to be Sibs who will be swapping back to that after their team is armored up. Actually, no, maybe they're Nox. They've been consistently on the Rocket.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, true. Consistently on the Rocket. BRB is there, available as well. Amplifier, been so consistent with it, and also just evading any chance of a dive, trying to get value. Trying to lead Insomniac on a goose chase. Let's see how it unfolds right now. Eminence's got their one chance here to push it to victory and keep themselves in the game. They got to hold it down. However, if Deos hold this defense, Tetcher, what does that mean? What does it mean if Deos hold this?
Deos hold this defense. It is over. They will have taken a 4-1 and will be your Ignite. Nope, wrong tournament. Your Marvel Rivals Championships champions for the Pacific Console region. EvoCaz on the flank. No jetpack this time, and also no Star-Lord to bring home to your team.
Oh, indeed, right there. But Insomniac does get the pick on Bluey. Shredding through one of their Vanguards. It's going to be tough right now. Doctor Strange portal already needs to be used. Overtime is in, I believe, 13 seconds right now. Let's see how it all unfolds. A couple ultimates are about to be online.
Tainari gets taken down, brought back at the BRB, meaning that Deos Liberos, they have everyone here, but so do Eminence, as no one has gone down as of yet. Trying to take out Hype very early on the Doctor Strange, and down they go. Numbers in favor of Eminence, as they push on in to try and capitalize onto this point with the Loki getting the extra clone. But there we go, evening it up, taking down Bluey as well. Eminence, they're starting to get cleaned up off the board. Who is still here? It's going to be RP67 and EvoCaz, trying to just delay as long as they can on this board. Wolverine has a huge amount of extra sustain. They get the Eternal Bond down for the extra extra delay. Bluey going out of the spawn with the portal to try and buy every extra second they can. Hype Fizz on the Human Torch, Galactic Legend to staple them in immortality. That is going to be GG.
Insane performance. Right there, my goodness, they did it. These Liberos are your console Pacific MRC champions right now. Tainari getting the MVP, the whole squad's MVP for that massive performance. Tetcher, what a matchup. That was a good one. That was a great best of 7. That was awesome.
So much adjustment, so much of the teams learning from each other. A very well-deserved top 2 finish from Eminence, but the score shows where this tournament went. That is just a amazing performance. Our winners, our champions, with multiple players getting over 10 final hits at the end there. Just so dominance on the setup for Deos Liberos.
So much power being poured out right now. Triple Strategist really kind of cooks, you know. You get a lot of damage set up, a lot of power. Very risky getting off the second Vanguard, but
yeah,
doesn't really matter because Emma Frost has been banned, and the one game Emma wasn't banned, she was sort of Vanguard, and she was cooking, laying them down, especially when you called it earlier. Oh, that massive diamond form hammer arm, whew, forces you to switch off the insanity that could have been what really might be unfolding. But Tetcher, I want to say, like, quick one, the cloak and dagger. Still such a big presence. SVP, very well earned. Very well earned.
It did the job. 40,000 damage healed, which is incredibly effective. 15k damage done. Only really beaten out in terms of strategists by MC Legends, who, of course, a low-key firing squad will do the job there. But overall, we talked about it before, if you're going to solo Vanguard, you need to make sure that your second frontliner is going to be someone like a Wolverine. A melee who can really displace and cause enough pressure to take the pressure off of your single Vanguard character. It's so important to deal with, and that's exactly what we did end up seeing for both teams when they attempted to adjust, and it did allow Tainari, a very well-deserved MVP, to rush on in on characters like that Star-Lord to reinforce quickly.
Oh, yeah. And there it is. That's your winners, Deos Liberos. Feeling good, feeling cheery. Enjoy the win, enjoy the victory. Keen to see this team run it back again. I love to see this team climb up, maybe even a bit of stage 2 action in the OCMRI. Would be.
We'd have to see. The console teams, I don't believe, are eligible.
Oh, sorry, that's right. I apologize.
No,
I apologize
sadly.
for that. You know what? Actually, console alone, I'd love to see a separate division hosted for the console teams.
I'd be down.
That
would be super cool.
Be fun. That could be fun.
With so many cards,
have the console teams? Have they gone inter-regional with the console teams?
So we did have a couple of representatives from consoles making into Ignite via different stuff.
That's true.
So Leo in EMEA actually made it in. In Asia, we had Silver Team, which is actually PS4 group from Season 1 MRC.
Wow.
They immediately surrendered week 1 and did not play anymore. But almost all their players swapped over from console to PC to qualify for Ignite, which they did, and they gave up. I don't know why. We never found out.
Ooh. That's a bit rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one forfeit as well. One of the rounds forfeit in our top 8 for MRI. But hey, game's the game. You never know. Maybe something's come up. But that was the matchup, Tetcher. Thank you very much for inviting me to that matchup. That was lovely.
Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you jumping in to help protect my voice and also give this game the justice it deserves. I'm going to go get ready to go to the doctors. Before I do so, please tell people where they can find you.
Well, everybody, my name is Liger. You can find me under the tag AvatarLiger, AvatarLiger. We get down to business. We get down to the Marvel Rivals grind. And yeah, let's see. I'll be casting, of course, in all of the OCE region events. Good times, good certified advice for the rest of the year. So make sure you come through to anything OCE related to Marvel Rivals. And of course, you make sure you go to Tetcher for all your EMEA needs and more when it comes to Marvel Rivals. And of course, these amazing, videos that you're watching right now on YouTube. It's a good time. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, do all of the above. Come on now.
And check out the description where you can do the exact same for Liger. I'm going to pause the recording so I can let Liger go, then do my member shoutouts, then scoot to the doctors. So once again, Liger, thanks for joining.
Have a good one.
we're speedrunning this. Thank you once again very much, Liger, for joining, and thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to become a member to get early access to videos, behind the scenes if I go to LAN, and also your name shouted out in the credits of news videos or in the end of videos like this, then you can hit that join button like these people: Odium, Arso, Doki Pokey, and John. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I have been Tetcher. I'm going to hopefully get America's done today after I'm back from the doctors, so you'll see that tomorrow, or the replays have expired and I did not get to it in time. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow.